Now, Nigeria and her limitations, River State and her limitations, all we have, like I said before, elections, recall of individual lawmakers, litigation, public advocacy. Because at the moment, we don't have a constitutional provision that allows citizens to directly compel an assembly to hold a specific number of sittings through a petition or referendum process. Now, big question. Since we're in the era of reform, this administration has been, reform, we're doing reforms, reforms, tax reforms, that reform and this reform. Should the Constitution be amended to impose automatic consequences where a legislature fails to meet Section 104? I say yes. I don't know what you guys were calling to say, but I say yes. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is where you come in. River State legislative inactivity concerns grow over stalled assembly activities. The River State House of Assembly has reportedly not held plenary for months, sparking debate about accountability, representation, and the role of the legislature in a democracy. What happens when an assembly becomes inactive? Phone lines are open. You can answer my questions. You can add to them. You can give your own answers. 0810-951-0951. 0810-951-0951. For voice notes, WhatsApp messages, and text messages, 0701-9339-962, 0701-9339-962. Now, remember, you can also be part of the conversation via YouTube, Today951 FM. That's Today951 FM. On Facebook, I'll be checking in a bit, see if we have any comments there. Today95.1 FM. That's Today95.1 FM. Instagram, X, and Twitch all have the same handle, Today FM 951. That's Today FM 951. You can listen in via the website www.todayfmlive.com. Listen live right there in the middle of your screen, and you are in. You can also use apps, Tune In and Radio Garden. All you need to do is go to Google Play Store or the Apple Store and download said apps. Today 95.1 is what you want to search for. That's Today 95.1. That's what you want to search for. And then, of course, you are golden, you are in. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll take a short commercial break. And when we come back, conversations continue.
Dropping a cube, let the flavors flow. Watch every meal, steal the show. Terra, ooh, Terra. Aroma rising, filling the room, turning dinner's a joy to consume. Terra, ooh, Terra.
Terra Cube or Rap Joy. Unleash taste.
Golden Terra oil, pure soya oil. Golden Terra oil, pure soya oil. Rice or stew, beans or yam. Golden Terra oil, mix it right. Fry or brew, stir or flip. Taste and goodness hit the spot. Moms love shining through the meal. Nourishing food for family well-being. Indulge and wine with family too. Golden Terra oil, cares for you. Golden Terra oil, pour pure love.
Good tasty food is worth living for. Worried about your oil every time you enjoy your favorite meal? Introducing Golden Terra Smart Balance Oil. Smart Balance Rice Bran Oil is rich in gamma oryzanol. Several studies suggest that gamma oryzanol may contribute to the reduction of bad cholesterol. Golden Terra Smart Balance Oil. Good food, no worries.
Port Harcourt, are you ready? Today, 95.1 FM, the voice of the people. This is Today 95.1 FM, Port Harcourt, voice of the people.
95.1 FM, voice of the people.
And we're back.
All right, welcome back. And of course, back to the conversation at hand. We've asked, where's the governor? We've looked at CDC, CDC organizations or associations, and wondered if they were just for show, ceremonial. And now we're looking at, what they call them now, the State Assembly. Where are they? They have not sat for months, and the Constitution says 181 days. All right, let's get your thoughts. 95.1, welcome to the show. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Good morning, my lady, Ugo. I'm calling you from Port Harcourt.
All right, go ahead.
Yes, you can see it now from what you read out. What is left of the electorate again? The electorate is incapacitated. Our system here has given power, enormous power, absolute power to whoever that is being elected or selected. We can no more control them. We have no power over them. When they go there, when they are seeking for vote, you agree with me that they will even enter our kitchen, washing plates, doing all manner of things. But as soon as they get there, my dear, their wings grow wider, that nobody can tame it again, nobody can control it. They form stooges. The only thing they see, the only fault, I call them fault finders, is on what the governor is not doing well. That is where their point is. But they don't look at themselves and ask these questions. Are they doing what they are being elected for? To be very frank with you, except the people embark on what we call revolution, whether violent one or whether smooth revolution.
No violence.
Except
No violence,
the people,
please. No violence,
except the people, yes, rise. If the people don't rise to curtail all this nonsense we are seeing under this democratic governance, I have been saying it that if there is any way the military will continue to govern until when we are ready, I am one person that advocate for that.
Okay.
Our system is so bad that we cannot.
Thank you for calling. Okay, it looks like I didn't hear his voice anymore, but thank you for calling. 95.1, welcome to the show. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Thank you. My name is Sunday, calling from Pakot.
All right, go ahead.
I want to say, it's all these people that are leading me, that's all these my politicians that used to travel from one country to another, that they don't learn anything concerning good things to bring to this my country, Nigeria. Apart from all this bad ruling in policies. We are masquerade and juju priests will come and say, if you don't do this, I will kill you. And nobody will talk. I'm ashamed of this.
All right, thank you for calling. Well, my question on the table, one very vital question. Should the Constitution be amended? Reform. Should the Constitution be amended to take care of all these, what I would call loopholes now? All right. 95.1, welcome to the show. What's your name? Where are you calling from? Hello? All right, looks like we lost our call. Do well to call back 0810-951-0951. That's 0810-951-0951. For text messages, voice notes, and WhatsApp messages, 0701-933-9962. 95.1, welcome to the show. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hello, good morning. Don. Good morning.
Good morning. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Chinda, calling from Chinda.
All right, go ahead.
That man calling for military takeover, they should examine his head.
All right. No. Come on. Stay on topic. 95.1, welcome to the show. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Good morning, my sister. My name is Kuruyeke.
All right, welcome to the show.
My sister, thank you. From what you interpret there, which everybody is saying the river. And I start to wonder, these are people voted for them, and at the end of the day, not even in the community, they're getting their name again. The only time we heard their name when they are struggling to fight was as a result of after 3 months, the government is not working again. So we voted for you, and we voted for people House of Rep, people House of Senate, voted for them. Actually, the government is not working well. So we will see, and at the end of the day, we will know what to do. To go to their constituency and report the government. But this one, nothing happened. 3 times, 6 months, in left on a state of emergency. And that is what they gain. If today, nobody, in Milan now, there's a fire incident there. I have not heard from it. It's assembly that we voted for them to get up, put that, and know what to do. These people are crying every day. And these are the same people. Tomorrow, you and me will say, oh, I have imposed this one as a governor. When you do not do anything, nothing, to keep accountable, you must save money.
All right.
But I know one day it will go.
All right. Thank you for calling. 95.1, welcome to the show. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Yeah, good morning. Don.
Yes.
Once again, this is Honorable Chris O'Chris.
Welcome to the show.
If you buy agric fowl, they told you that once you buy the fowl, start giving him feed, he will lay egg for you. And you keep on buying feed. That fowl refuses to lay egg. What will you do? So either you kill and eat it, or you stop giving him food. From the politicians, the ones in Nigeria, they are not leaders. They are political businessmen. My people asked me to come and rule them. Ashi, na lie. They don't have anything. They are poor Nigerian politicians. They don't care for you. Check them now in your local primary school, community school. Are their children schooling there? The way they love their children. If their children are schooling there, you see, Daddy, I'm not fitting again. I'm catching cold, heat, killing me. You see them. Tomorrow they will come and put AC in that community's primary school. But because their children are not there now, who are you now?
Okay.
For businessmen, leave those people. The only people that fight for them are their chamo boys. Something that's crossed from the table. That's what they eat.
Thank you for calling. Thank you for calling. So, ladies and gentlemen, please, I need the answer to this question. Constitutional existence, constitutional functionality, because I did ask that as well. Which should trump which? And should the Constitution be reformed that there should be direct consequences for not doing the work? Maybe reforms pushed by we the people, because many would say they will not agree to institute that. Do we push it ourselves? 95.1, welcome to the show. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Yeah, Don, good morning.
Good morning. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
This is Tony calling from Port Harcourt.
All right, go ahead.
Don, there is according to the legal people, a lacuna in the Constitution that doesn't capture community administration. Because if there is an effective community administration as captured in the Constitution, this is the only way to hold these people accountable. As it is now, there is no mechanism to hold them to account for anything. It's a free-for-all something. Any person can just come and, wangle his ways and get to any of the positions. And there's nothing you will do about it. Because there is no effective way of, bringing them to account. And this thing runs across the black African nations. When you make a comparison between European or American, this is the community, how they hold people who represent them, you will see that is the schooner. That is where we are missing it.
All right.
If it's not the Constitution, let the Constitution capture it. And there has to be a lot of enlightenment. So many people went to school, but they don't know the basic things about government. I won't call it illiteracy, but it's a factor. Thank you.
Thank you for calling. 95.1, welcome to the show. What's your name? Where are you calling from? Hello?
Hello, the Don. Thank you.
All right, I can hear you now. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Yeah, I'm Clinton, calling from Port Harcourt.
All right, Clinton, go ahead.
The Don. On your question, I feel our problem is it boils down to the Constitution emphatically stated that 181 days is what is meant for the House of Assembly to sit. Are you getting me?
All right.
In a year. But when you take this matter to this court, the judge there will tell you whether are you the governor or are you the House of Assembly member, that what is your concern about the matter.
All right, Clinton, here's the thing. You could come by way of an interested party. Either you are a constituent under one of the constituencies that's run by or led or represented by these lawmakers. So
now, by that way you say I should come.
Yes.
Me and you, we are here in Rivers State when a state of emergency was granted in Rivers State, and the court asked the people that went for the court to interpret the matter whether what is their concern, knowing fully well that these people are Rivers people that are being affected by the state of emergency and things like that. We started asking them whether they are the governors or they are the House of Assembly. My dear, our problem is the judiciary. There's no lacuna in our constitution. It's only the judiciary that bends it to their will and how they want it to be. That is how it is.
All right. Thank you for calling.
Thank you.
95.1, welcome to the show. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
I'm Sunday Robert. You asked a question. Concerning this, your second question. You know the answer. They will turn everything upside down. Anything constitution, once they reach the one that will cook them, they will turn upside down. Carry the head paper down, carry the down, go up. That is their last task. They won't sign it. Anyone that will cook them, they will not sign. They keep it aside. Thank you.
All right. Thank you for calling. 0810-9510-951. I see your messages on WhatsApp and all of that. I'll get to them in a minute. Let's take this call. 95.1, welcome to the show. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hello.
Hello, what's your name? Where are you calling from?
Yes. My name is Mike from Romadara.
All right, go ahead.
You see, I like being consistent, and I know I don't like beating around the bush, because the kind of country that we are and the race that we are and the region and our peculiarities, it involves us to look critically inwards. You know, I still recall when Obasanjo took over power, the first major thing he did was to invite all the traditional rulers to Abuja. And when they came back, things were no longer the same. Until we go back to them. And then, because Jonathan said one thing, that for you to get the system working, you have to work on the brain. You go to the Western world, what you see today is what is the dream of the elders, of their forefathers. And what you're seeing today is still what our forefathers dreamt of, or even if they did it ignorantly, they knew what they did for it. But this is the outcome of their brain.
All right.
So until our youth go back, work on their brains and stop fighting them, because you cannot fight them. They are your elders. They have to give you their blessings. The monster they have created, you have to go back and work on their brain, and for them to bless you, and then for you to now see the Nigeria or the politics or the wherever we want Nigeria to go, you see it working.
All right.
As far as the elders are still there, what we see in the communities, because what is happening in this country is happening in the communities. The elders give this our politician blessings. So what do they expect to see? So until we go back and work on them, for them to give us a blessing, then we can move forward. Thank you.
All right, thank you for calling. Let's take this call and then we'll get to your messages. 95.1, welcome to the show. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Once again, good morning, Lady Dawn.
Good morning.
My name is still Robin Maja, the farmer. And as I talk to you, I'm still calling you from a chair. Constitutional push. How do we push? When we are being gagged by the political bourgeois. Lady Dawn, let me tell you, and those who care to listen to me, I've said this for up to time. In Chapter 2 of Nigerian Constitution, 1999 as amended, which is fundamental directives, principle of state policy, it's very clear.
All right.
It said it shall be the duty of the executive, legislature, and judiciary to conform, or any other person in any authority to conform with the provision of the Constitution. Are they doing so? Hello, Lady Dawn.
I can hear you, but I'm about to cut you off.
What? Okay, you're about to cut me off.
Yes, because you've called before. Allow another person.
No, this is a different topic. It's a different topic we are talking.
All right.
It's a different topic we are discussing. Let me learn. Go to the homes of the, you're talking about state assembly, go to the homes of the senators where they come from. The House of Reps, go there. You weep for the people.
Okay.
Because they are answerable to one man.
All right.
Good morning.
Thank you for, right. Thank you for calling. 95.1, welcome to the show. What's your name? Where are you calling from? Hello? All right, let's try this one. Then we get to the messages. 95.1, welcome to the show. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Good morning, my sister.
Good morning.
My name remains Prince O, a.k.a. Truth is Bitter.
Go ahead.
Can you hear me now?
Loud and clear.
Until we go back to review the Constitution of Nigeria, that a man doesn't require 4 years or 40 years to repair a nation or to build a house. My sister, do you know some people can build a hotel, 5-star, under 1 year or 6 months? Then you're talking of a man that controls the whole wealth in a nation. Let me tell you, if there is no law, if you steal 1 billion naira, you face death penalty. If you steal 500 million, you go for 21 years imprisonment. And for you to be a politician, you must have children in primary and secondary. Outside that, you are not qualified. First qualification for you to contest election, you must have children that to school in Nigeria, primary and secondary. Outside that, no matter your degree, you are not qualified. When he put his law in place, like in China, $2,000 will send you to graveyard. $1,000 will send you to graveyard.
All right.
That's why today China is on top. Until he make a law, review the Constitution of Nigeria, and in fact, Nigeria, people will tell you what of America, this and that. Well, have you heard about one America or one Ghana? It's only Nigeria here. Let's unite. One Nigeria. This country cannot work. Nigeria has expired since 2014. And when they carry a spare engine that have broken down, put inside a new body, it will not work.
Okay.
Because they carry a broken down engine, put inside a new body.
All right.
You see, we can't tell ourselves the truth. That's why the Boko Haram and bandits are still waxing strong. Because those what kill the cola is inside the cola.
All right.
The government itself is so corrupt that even the police openly in your presence they are giving change.
All right. Thank you for calling. I had to let you go because I have to get to the messages as well. Their voices as well need to be heard. Hi, Lady Dawn. Stop troubling. Okay. Stop troubling your head about Rivers State government because that's how FCT Minister and Rivers people want it to be. The day Rivers people wake up from their sleep, you will see Rivers State working normal. Let the set of the people clapping for the FCT Minister continue clapping. As for the Constitution, Tinubu government has turned everything upside down. No law anymore in the country. That's from Eric. All right. We have 2 voice notes. Let's take this one and see.
Yeah, good morning once again, Don Winston. I think you have done justice to this the topic of discussion. You have analyzed it very, very well without bias. Yes, even the not only the assembly, even the governor. I don't think he is still functioning well. Yes, in as much as I knew he's not coming back. Probably that is the reason why he's not bothered anymore. I think the River State entirely is being cold. Nothing is happening. So it's unfortunate. Amewule have never passed a P as a speaker. He have entered book of record in Africa, the first state assembly speaker that did not pass B. The only time they sit is 48 hours ultimatum. I will impeach governor. I will do this. I will do that. They have not. Unfortunately, they have run to pick ticket for House of Rep. I think the record doesn't work in Nigeria because our democracy is not working. It's not functioning. So he left for Rivers people to reject those people. Because I don't know what a speaker of getting 4 years now did not pass any bill. Only bill he passed is accepting emergency. He's going for House of Rep to go and be a bench warmer or what. So Rivers people should reject those people. They need fresh blood to move Rivers State forward. Rivers State is still a village. Kembelion.
All right, that was in Kembelion. Let's go to the second voice note.
Good morning, presenter. Okay, let me go straight to the point. You asked if the constitution should be amended. Yes, I will say yes, the constitution should be amended. But the challenge you have is these same people that are going to amend the constitution, which are the lawmakers, the constitution they will amend will fight them. So naturally, they will not want to amend what to fight them. To understand, the challenge you have is there is moral decadence in our society. Imagine River State, where the governor happened to see himself in, one thing or the other that has made him not to function, the way he ought to. And now, the lawmakers are taking advantage of it and just, doing things the way they like because there is nobody, the legislature is not checking on the executive is not also checking on the legislature. So, my dear, where we have found ourselves is just unfortunate.
All right. Okay, let's see. I think that's all for WhatsApp. Let's get to the messaging portal. Then I'll also check Facebook. All right. Let's get into this one. Harcourtians. That's an interesting one. Harcourtians are happy because Don Wilson is informing and lecturing us. Are you serious? Okay, that was in fact, I'm going to steal that one. I like it. Harcourtians. All right. Greetings, my choice presenter. I coined the inactivity of the River State of Assembly as a child who has grown to have home but can't have control over his home as it stands. Let the citizenry claim back their state. That's Honorable Marlon. You also say, then you ask constitutional push. It is pointer, but that will be a nullity. I say so because if you sit on a throne where you don't want the society to grow, will it work? All right. Good example is this. I'm having a problem. Good example is the electoral reform. All right, Honorable Marlon. It looks like your autocorrect or something was adding more words into it. All right, let's see. Let me quickly check Facebook to make sure that... Let's see. Okay, we have comments on Facebook. Let's take them and see if we can take one or two more calls. Okay. Bassi Godfred. It started from the governor. If I may ask, did River State still have a governor? Of course, there's a reply to that question. Can you people stop fighting? Okay, you know what? I'm going to jump that. Olatubosun Akinpelu Wahid. Wike is yet to have a bill to send to them. Oh, my God. All right, you say they are Wike's assembly. All right. Onyema Sylvester Kanayo, that is what Wike wants, and he's satisfied with the happenings in the state as long as his structure is not touched. Ukosumi, I'm Ukosum V, okay. Miyanobo Anthony. For years now, River State House of Assembly has been mute because they don't know their work. And then you put a dog laughing. All right, I guess you're joking or something. All right, let's take. Okay, we can take at least two calls if we keep it short and tight. Two calls. 95.1. Welcome to the show. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Yeah, good morning, Lady B. Professor Douglas.
All right, welcome to the show.
Lady B, quickly before I comment, I want to urge you to please be correcting one certain caller. There's a voice note he played. He said River State is still a village. such callers should be, correcting them. We don't even need their advice. These people are not even much intelligent like Rivers people. So
Special Douglas. Special Douglas.
Yes,
stay on topic. I hear you, but stay on topic.
No problem. Let's go on.
All right.
Lady, I will adopt an statement your one other caller made. I will adopt it. He said the people are incapacitated. But now my adoption is that the incapacitation is not from the politicians, but from the people themselves, because they are so ignorant. So their incapacitation is that their ignorance. You see, Montesquieu said that if the legislative and the executive power are in unity, there is no liberty or freedom for the people. So when we begin to get angry that the assembly and the governor or the legislature and the executive are not cooperating, it makes us look or sound stupid. This is democracy. They are not supposed to cooperate. Now, and I believe this issue you have brought is to narrow it down to River State to assess the assembly performance. Now, this River State Assembly we have is a unique one.
All right.
With the executive that's in crisis. So we should not expect that they will work normally like every other executive and legislature. Moreover, this our current legislature, they are operating from a temporary place. They are incapacitated. I can tell you, like my own assembly member.
Special Douglas, unfortunately, I have to kind of like tackle you on that one. Does it matter where they sit, or that they sit? And do they really need some special edifice for them to pass laws and all of that? Because you seem to be giving them a way out or cutting them some slack.
I'm coming. There's a reason why I made that reference.
All right.
You see, when you are doing your job, you have to operate in a very conducive environment. There are three things I cannot do if I'm not comfortable. I wouldn't mention honor. So, Lady D, their sitting place was demolished by this governor. Their allowances were seized for 1 year and 4 months by this governor. So they are operating in a very makeshift way. My assembly member, I can tell you, has been very, very unstable with his legislative job, because there was a time he needed money to go and process his daughter's university or education. So he couldn't get because he was not paid. And I believe several members of the assembly have these issues. They are facing their personal issues. And then secondly, the constitution, which tells us that they must sit for 181 days, does not tell us how they should sit. Sometimes these people could sit early. Sometimes they can meet temporarily. They mustn't always come to the public. But I want to assure you that the assembly we have today,
Special Douglas, they mustn't always come to the public. Are you serious? In a democratic dispensation?
For real, there mustn't always be.
How's it done in America? How's it done in America that we're copying? And even
America's democracy is over 250 years old.
Oh, excuse me.
If we want to copy them, we might be shooting ourselves in the foot.
All right.
So what I'm saying in conclusion is that we should give these people a chance.
Okay.
The governor and the assembly,
all right,
they are working very well to move River State forward. They have made mistakes in the past few months. It is our issue as River State people. So we should give them support.
All right.
That is all I need. That's
calling.
what I need to say. Thank you so much, Lady D.
Thank you for calling. I just couldn't. Special Douglas, really. Some excuses we make, they kind of show the choices, what we've chosen. America might be 1,000 years ahead of us as a democracy, but we are supposed to learn from history, because who fails to learn from history is doomed to repeat it. So you can't tell me because they are 200 and wanting, and our democracy is nascent. I hate that word now, but our democracy is nascent. Therefore, we are allowed to make the mistakes others before us have made. The labor of our heroes past. Anyway, all right. Let's watch the coming days. See what we see. It's been an interesting conversation with you guys. We'll take a short music break, decompress, come back, and it's the law today. Unfortunately, it's still political in a sense, but not so political. The law today. And we're looking at judicial rascality. So, the Federal High Court, despite the hierarchy of courts, decided, by way of Justice Peter Lifo, I believe, to continue with the deregistration of political parties. And then the Supreme Court comes out and says, no, you don't do that. I'm your elder. And I liken what you've done to judicial rascality. So yes, we're going to be looking at that. Stay with us.
Talk radio. I listen to a lot of talk radio.
95.1 FM.
Unleash the power of the airwaves with the ultimate radio experience. Tune in to Today 95.1 FM, the voice of the people. Don't just listen, immerse yourself.
That is 100% true.
Looking to grow your business?
Ready to elevate your brand and reach the right audience? This is your moment to take your brand to the next level with Today 95.1 FM.
Your trusted voice, reaching thousands of listeners every single day.
From startups to established brands, we create powerful advertising solutions that boost your visibility and drive real growth.
Our affordable advertising packages are designed to give your business maximum visibility and real results.
Don't just advertise where people are listening.
Call us today on 0818-389-2850 or visit our station to book your slot now at Today FM Drive off East West Road, Obiapo.
Today FM 95.1.
Your voice, your market, your success.
Live from the Garden City of Port Harcourt, Nigeria. This is Today 95.1 FM.
of the people.
And we're back.
All right, welcome to The Law Today on your talk station, premium talk station, I might add. Today at 95.1 FM, my name is Dawn Wilson, and today's conversation, a bit political and legal, obviously. I have in the studio here with me to do justice to the topic I'll be introducing in a moment, Living Gifton Jamala Esquire, who's a private legal practitioner. You're welcome to the show, sir.
Good morning, Don. Good morning, Rivers people.
All right. So I did give you guys a bit of a teaser, and you can I see you guys are already doing justice on Facebook. Please stop quarreling. Stop quarreling inside Facebook. Please keep it civil. As you keep it civil on air, keep it civil even on the Facebook platform. All right. So here's what's running on Facebook. The Court of Appeal has stayed the judgment deregistering ADC, Accord, and 3 other opposition parties. But beyond the politics, one phrase has captured public attention: judicial rascality. What does it mean? Is it merely a controversial expression, a reflection of judicial misconduct, or a growing threat to Nigeria's democracy and the rule of law? So that's what we're going to be discussing. Judicial rascality, myth, reality, or threat to democracy. So let's give you a bit of context for those of you who may not be aware, but I doubt any Nigerian isn't aware of what happened some days ago. So according to Premium Times, it says, updated, appeal court stays judgment deregistering ADC, Accord, 3 other opposition parties. So the Court of Appeal in Abuja on Tuesday ordered a stay of execution of the judgment of the Federal High Court Abuja, ordering the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, to deregister the African Democratic Congress and 4 other political parties. In a unanimous ruling, a 3-member panel of the Court of Appeal rebuked Federal High Court Judge Peter Lifu for delivering judgment in the case, violating its earlier superior order halting proceedings. Judge A. Mohammed, who delivered the lead ruling, described Mr. Lifu's conduct in deregistering the 5 opposition parties in disregard for the Court of Appeal's order of stay as judicial impertinence. Court of Appeal's intervention arrived barely 24 hours after Mr. Lifu delivered the controversial judgment on Monday, ordering INEC to deregister the African Democratic Congress, ADC, Accord, Action Alliance, Action People's Party, and Zenith Labour Party, some of which have established themselves as formidable rivals to the ruling All Progressives Congress, APC, in upcoming national and off-cycle governorship elections. Let's see now. Let's get to where the Court of Appeal. All right. Premium Times reported that Mr. Lifu delivered the judgment in a suit filed by the little-known National Forum of Former Legislators against INEC and the affected political parties. The group asked the court to compel INEC to remove the parties from its register for allegedly failing to meet constitutional requirements to maintain their registration status under Section 225 sub A of the Nigerian Constitution. Mr. Lifu proceeded to deliver judgment in favor of the plaintiff on Monday, despite lawyers to some of the affected political parties informing him of a pending appeal on the matter before the Court of Appeal. Waving off the lawyer's submission to halt proceedings, Mr. Lifu went on to deliver scheduled judgment, holding that no valid stay order had been served on the court and that the matter was ripe for determination. He subsequently ordered INEC to deregister the affected affiliated political parties. The Attorney General of the Federation, Lateef Fagbemi, who was sued as co-defendant, stoutly backed the suit. However, INEC, which earlier opposed the suit as a co-defendant at the trial court, approached the Court of Appeal on Tuesday calling for a stay of execution of the judgment. Now, here's where it gets interesting. Granting INEC's request, the Court of Appeal judges described Mr. Lifu's conduct as a breach of Court of Appeal supervisory jurisdiction over lower courts. It recalled its earlier order for stay of proceedings at the trial court pending the determination of the appeal and expressed surprise that Mr. Lifu ignored it. It held that despite the clear order halting proceedings, the trial court proceeded to deliver judgment. The court described the action as a brazen disregard for judicial authority. The panel further held that Mr. Lifu's conduct amounted to judicial rascality. All right, and that's, of course, going to form the foundation of today's conversation. Before I get your thoughts on this whole drama, I guess we should start from the hierarchy of courts.
The hierarchy of courts.
Of courts, yes.
Basically, there are what we call courts of record.
Okay.
I think that is where our hierarchy should begin from.
All right.
Because the other one, most of them, they are state-dominated. Except, now, from the bottom to the top, we have our various state high courts.
Yes.
Now, customary court of appeal, the federal high court, federal high courts, and National Industrial Court of Nigeria, they all fall within that same pedestal or that cadre. The none is elevated even an inch above the other.
Okay.
They all have their areas of adjudication when it comes.
Okay.
Federal High Court, there are things that they cannot dabble into. State High Court, by virtues of provisions of the law, some laws, especially like the Electoral Act, removing jurisdiction as to determination of issues arising from questions from the Electoral Act, removing it from state to the federal government. It used to be a concurrent, adjudicatory powers. So the list from those court of superior record, we would now talk of the State High Court, the Customary Court of Appeal, the Sharia Court of Appeal, the National Industrial Court, the Federal High Court.
Okay.
They are all in the same level. To use that so that we can. Then above that level is the Court of Appeal.
All right.
The Court of Appeal is one in Nigeria, but for administrative convenience, it has been same with the Federal High Court and the National Industrial Court. For administrative convenience, it has been taken to or splitted into several locations.
Right.
Most of the states, they have it, but you cannot say Court of Appeal of Rivers State. It is a Court of Appeal of Nigeria, Port Harcourt Judicial Division. If it is Uyo, you call it Uyo Judicial Division, but they are one. Now, the highest of it all, which we say after that, the next appeal lies to God, is the Supreme Court. Now, the Supreme Court of Nigeria stands at the apex of the hierarchy of courts. In other words, whatever the Supreme Court says, it remains binding and final. If you disapprove of it, the only avenue open to you is to, when God calls you, you ask God, why these people decided on this matter against me in this particular line of direction. But though I agree, the decisions of the Supreme Court sometimes are subject to review. Sometimes are subject to review, either by an application of parties or by when circumstances of that same facts present itself before the court and the attention is drawn into it. That's why if you look at the case of Rotimi Amechi in 2007, Supreme Court has, no, not the Supreme Court, the National Assembly has changed the law because of the policy decisions, consequential orders the Supreme Court made, the National Assembly. Now, there is this case in Rivers State, they call APC and Agoma, then Ibrahim Umar and APC. Now, when that case happened in 2023, 2019, when APC were barred from presenting candidates. That was 2019. There are issues of to what extent does the jurisdiction of court amounts when it comes to internal political party affairs.
All right.
The second one has to do with at what point can we say the exercise of internal affairs has now exceeded the jurisdiction of the court. Now, the court held to the extent that every activity that has to do with a political party amounts to a pre-election matter, and therefore the court has a right to intervene. But when Aguma and the APC got to the Supreme Court, Giadom and APC got to the Supreme Court, Oshomole and APC got to the Supreme Court, the facts replayed itself. And the Supreme Court had the opportunity of going back to where the Constitution described. The Constitution and the Electoral Act describe what truly is a pre-election matter and reversed their decision. So the Supreme Court can once look at itself. They say we are not infallible because we are final, but we are fallible because we are final. So if they can make mistakes, but the ability to come down to accept that mistake that is
and
really
on itself.
Yes, and reverse itself by usually seen. So that is basically the hierarchy, of course.
All right.
Supreme Court serve as an overall supervisory role to the other courts, but directly to the Court of Appeal. Now, Court of Appeal serves as a check and balance to the decisions of the State High Court, the Court of Appeal, the Customary Court of Appeal, the Sharia Court of Appeal, and the National Industrial Court, including the Federal High Courts.
All right. So now we have the hierarchy and their powers all laid out. What exactly is judicial rascality?
It's a very big question. I would like us to start from the elementary.
All right.
Remove judicial from it.
And just focus on rascality first?
For now, yes.
All
If
right.
you remove judicial and not Google the word, what is rascality? It was when I was at this gate that I said, okay, what is the literal meaning of rascality? And I have this to read from one of the dictionaries. Rascality simply means a mischievous, dishonest, or a playful behavior, especially behaviors that are slightly naughty rather than seriously criminal.
Okay.
Now, if you look at the word, who is a rascal? A mischievous or dishonest person. Then we still need to ask ourselves, what do we mean when you say someone is mischievous? So if you answer these questions in the positive, then put judicial, then define judicial rascality, you would have gotten the meaning of what judicial rascality. Now, the judiciary is one of the sector, or I call it organs of government. Yes, that is rooted in the Constitution. Section 153 provides for a body to regulate the activities of the judiciary.
Okay.
That is the National Judicial Commission, to regulate the activities of the judicial officers, supervise the activities, discipline them where necessary, and provide their emulations, whatever, when the need arises, and welfare, discuss all their welfare. Now, the judiciary is one of the places that is so, your actions are not personal. It is provided for. Whatever you do in the court, you must bring the law in line with what you do in the court. So there is what they call the stare decisis, where once a level is placed, the other level stands to supervise. And once something the higher level has taken, the lower level, so long as the facts, material subject of dispute is the same, you cannot say this precedent will not apply to these facts when the subject matter is the same. And so one of those things that the court have established all this while is to respect hierarchy and also the precedents established by superior courts that must be binding on the lower court.
Okay.
Now, so if this behavior is removed, it's like a way of behavior of animals. You see the sheep, they all move in one direction so long as the shepherd directs them to go the same way. And that is how judicial a culture of respect follows. The Supreme Court has given a decision, rightly or wrongly. At that material time, it becomes the law. You, the lower court, you do not have a right to stand on appeal against the decision of the Supreme Court. The Court of Appeal cannot do that. The various state high court, federal high court, national industrial court cannot do that. No matter how righteous you are, the decision has been given, you must follow that particular line in deciding a similar case that is before you.
Okay.
So that is, for me, I think if we put A, B, who is a rascal, what is rascality? The underlying word in both of them is mischievous. Then who is a mischievous person? Our judiciary would have defined judicial rascality.
Okay. All right. So basically, it's not a legal term or a political expression.
No, it is not. When you say a legal term, it is not a legal term
exist.
per se.
Okay.
It's not a legal term per se, but it is something used to describe one who is not always in a conformity with the ordered procedure of a society, right? There is a system. It has established its rules on how to follow. All of a sudden, you are from nowhere coming to distort that process. That person is a rascal.
A rascal. All right. So, at what point? Because you did say that even the Supreme Court can make mistakes.
Yes, they do make mistake.
At what point does a judge's conduct cross from a mistake or an error in judgment to judicial misconduct?
Now, the point to the extent, let's take the case of Lifu, the one we are discussing in the circumstance. Now, the general principle of law is that once a party is aggrieved with a decision of court and appeal that particular matter, the appeal rightly entered, no court, no lower court has the jurisdiction to go on with that same matter again.
Okay.
Except in some cases.
I was leading to that, yes.
Except in some cases. Principle of which is criminal proceedings. The law rightly stated that the interlocutory preliminary appeals cannot stand as a stay to the main subject of litigation unless the court otherwise, the superior court otherwise direct. But that is the general rule, and there are exceptions to general rule.
Of course.
In garnishee proceedings too, it is not automatic that a stay will be granted. And it is not in all circumstances that stays are granted. But where it is granted, it is the responsibility of the lower court to respect, following the doctrine of stare decisis.
Okay.
It is the responsibility of the lower court to abide by that decision. Now, one of the reasons, in quote, that Lofu gave was the fact that no stay of proceedings that is again understanding the law from the opposite. That is turning your head down to understand the law. My Lord Justice, Honorable Justice Lifu, with all due respect, is aware or knows the fact that a mere statement of fact from the bar to the bench telling the court that this appeal has been has been entered, providing the particulars of the appeal, that is the appeal number, is enough facts, enough material to ask the court to wash off his hand and say, okay, since you are on a higher level, I wash off my hand until my senior tells me otherwise. The lower court cannot be seen to be exercising jurisdiction a loggerhead with the higher court. That is not the law. That is not the law. That is not convention, and morally it is right. Now, let's take, for instance, in a family, there are two siblings having issues. Their head, maybe the first son or the first daughter, decided to intervene to see how they can bring in amicable resolution. And maybe while the proceedings was going, gave a slight comment. And one of them feels, oh, my sister is already biased. I will not get a fair hearing here. And runs to the daddy to report. And daddy says, okay, first daughter, Ada, please leave these two boys. I want to talk to them. Can the sister go back and give judgment for whatever? No, that is what, this one is morality, just common sense. But this one is a well laid down procedure rooted in statutes. So it was wrong for misconduct, exercise of this nature, where it is glaringly so that a judicial officer has misused or abused its judicial powers is an act of misconduct.
All right. So, of course, you say statutes exist. Once the case is before a superior court, you're supposed to just stand back, stand down.
Hands off.
Now,
it is the refusal to do so
that's the judicial
that leads to the comment made by the Supreme Court, even in the Court of Appeal, in several protective authorities, are calling the conduct of that particular person to mean a rascal.
Okay.
And in the circumstances, since it is a judicial rule, it is called judicial rascality. But for me, election matters are beginning to make some of our judges or judicial officers act not only judicial rascally, but acting like, I call them judicial terrorists.
Okay.
That is the level we are going to.
All right.
Yes, they are beginning to say, like they are suicide bombers. I must give this decision or nothing happens.
Okay.
So they are not looking at what is regulating them, what will befall them if they take these decisions. But they are all bent on making, what is the purport of that judgment?
Okay. So now looking at ignorance or ignoring consequences, are there any remedies to this? I do know that, okay, the Court of Appeal came out and said, you know what, stop. But are there any other steps that should be taken or could be taken?
Ordinarily, the Court of Appeal, in making that, first, the legal implications of that decision is, in the eyes of the law, is seen that Leaf never made that decision. It never existed. He has gone out to pronounce, but in law, as it stands now, it doesn't exist because you cannot place that judgment on something that is solidly grounded.
Okay.
Now, what I expected, which the Supreme Court most times do, is to refer the conduct of that particular person to the disciplinary body, or which is the NJC. Now, to deter. Now, but sometimes these persons, before they take this action, like I said, they are they are growing to the extent of becoming suicide bombers. Is the fact that they have weighed the society. Who are those to judge them in the circumstance? Who is backing them? Is the person in charge of the area we operate in? Why do we call area boys fearless? It's because they have looked at the entire vicinity and they have seen that the person who rules that area is the Oga. So if the Oga rules the area, who are you to come and challenge me in this territory that my Oga has given me an order to deliver? So they have weighed these things and said, if they take me to NJC, who are those that will sit against me? Who will appoint the panel to look into my misconduct? Who assigns the case to me in the first place? Are there external hands outside the judiciary that are fueling these things? So they weigh these things and say that nothing will happen, that this is Nigeria. At the end of it, we'll talk today, talk tomorrow. Then we'll move to the next topic that is trending. And we are gone. The Oyo students is going, That is how Chibok started. The next thing, another kidnap will happen. We'll abandon that story and face the new one. And that is how things left under the carpet.
All right.
So there are established procedures for disciplinary actions. But the justices of the Court of Appeal are a little bit magnanimous when they did not refer that. If it were to be a lawyer misconduct, you would have seen they would have referred to the disciplinary committee of the NBA, Legal Practitioners Disciplinary Committee.
All right. So how common, two questions, how common is this in Nigeria? Maybe you can refresh our memories with incidences of times past, and if there be incidences of judicial rascality, what were the consequences in those incidences?
I'm aware there are cases where judges have been suspended.
Okay.
Some have been put on some years of no payment. They have been reprimanded one way or the other. But I see that the bad eggs in the society now, especially in the judiciary, rather than being punished, they are being elevated. So it's like a punishment to a particular, it's like, I call it a reward to toe a particular line, because at the end of it, you get elevated. Every judicial officer look forward to the day he or she will get to the climax of the profession or the calling. That is becoming one day, someday, a justice of the federal Supreme Court of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. And so whatever that would make one to get to that level, and we have seen it going. We have seen it how some justices were recommended for elevation, where we have seen where competence is somehow renegated and personality comes into play. Yes, it's everywhere in Nigeria. It's anywhere. Can you get a job without being referred? Is there, from the list of our local government, can you get a job? It's even in private organizations now, to some extent. Private organizations that are doing well, can you get a job without being referred? Who is the person that asks you to come and apply? Who do you know in the board of directors? Who will sign your indemnity forms? So, do you have a valid, a reasonable, a commanding complimentary card that you can give to someone to go and meet so and so person? It's everywhere. And so, but sadly, the judiciary ought not to be so. Because in a sane society, after God is the judicial officers. After God. And those who sit in the temple of the judicial officers. But sadly, we have gone to, we have reached to the extent that where even a second God is asking God to help them. The judiciary is asking God to help us now. That's the stage we have reached, and it's sad.
All right, so let's digress a bit, but it's still on the same thing. It looks like a lot of the compromises, judicial rascalities, and technicalities, gray areas, all of that, we find them playing out mainly in political situations or political issues. What about when it has to do with private individuals? Is the judiciary just as compromised?
The truth is that political activities or cases, they draw more attention than the private cases.
True.
So most of the private issues that are being settled in court every day, we don't know. The media don't carry it. And so people don't know. And now, in Nigeria, we have not developed the culture of walking into a courtroom. You check your schedule for the day, you are not busy.
Yeah.
You now say, okay, let me go and sit in one of these courtrooms and observe proceedings and see how the court operates. We don't have that culture. We don't see our schools even taking our students to go and see. This is an aspect of the part of life that you come and see.
Are we talking chambers attachment now?
No. I'm talking about courts. I say our schools. Talking about primary schools, secondary schools, nursery, those are up to nursery 3, who can understand what is happening or have a glimpse of what is happening in the courtroom. In well-exposed societies, they do it. I'm free today. Let me go and sit down. Proceeding. Let me see how these people operate. Let me have most persons, the first time they are coming to court is when they have an issue. And you see them fidgeting as if they are before, or it ought not to be so. The court is more friendly to you than the police, and they say police is our friend. So if you look at that, you say yes, technicalities is not something that we can call it a misconduct. It is not. No, when we talk of technicalities, it is applying a particular provisions of the rule in the extreme form. In other words, you using your discretion. The court says, before you file an originating summons, these are the documents that you follow. And you file the originating summons, you file the affidavit verifying, you filed the motion in support of originating, and you fail to file the written address.
Okay.
And the court says, for the fact that you have not filed this particular document, your processes are incomplete, and dismisses the case. While equity, on the other hand, will say you shouldn't have done so. Ordinarily, should have asked the person, go and file the paper that you did not file, so that you can look into the merit of the case proper. That is technicality. But it's a provision given by the judge exercising that discretion to the extreme. Some will waive it. So it is not an issue of misconduct. Then again, no, the essence of us having an appeal is to the extent that, yes, you sit alone. In the Court of Appeal, they sit 3.
Okay.
At the Supreme Court, they sit 5. Where it is a constitutional matter, they sit 7. And so where 3 persons put their head together, the reasoning, it is believed, will supersede that of an ordinary eye looking into it. So if you legally, without any motive negative, and you make mistake, it is not a misconduct. But when you are aware of those existing facts and you deliberately ignore to a different line of a decision, contrary to what your superior has said, then that is a judicial misconduct. But the Bible says sin continue to persist because judgment is not given swiftly. So if you bring down to our society, the offenders are not being punished the way they are actually offending us.
Okay.
They say good persons don't last. Why? So the sins are multiplying because those who are committing it, corruption has increased because those who started corruption in Nigeria, they are now our role model. Yes, so notwithstanding how you get the money, the society all is interested in just get the money.
All right.
Nobody asks you, how do you get it?
Okay, before we open the phone lines, 2 questions. The first question, what long-term consequence do you see? Because many times they'll say, you people started this thing, the next person coming after you is going to do worse. So given that you talked about some of the judges saying they have backing or they have support or they have protection.
In quotes.
So what long-term consequence do you see coming from, this continuation, I would call it, because judicial rascality has happened before, continuation and possible evolution of judicial rascality, because this is way worse. Or I stand to be corrected, but what happened with Peter Lifu, to me, is way worse.
Yes, it's one of the heights.
That's
the height
one.
of rascality is shown.
Your opinion on this story? Those are the 2 questions.
I would not want us to limit this discussion at this is a question to the judiciary. Can we look at a broader Nigeria?
Sure.
A broader Nigeria where we have the executive. Is the executive also not ignoring the constitution that brought them to power to act otherwise? Okay. If you look at the legislature, are they not doing contrary to what they swore to do down?
So you're looking at it from the 3 tiers of
government.
Yes,
3 tiers. And who are those replacing them? Now, in the judiciary, it is now becoming a habit that you can only become a judge when you are a daughter of a judge, or your uncle is a judge, your auntie is a judge, this and that, or your husband is a judge. So it's now being like... it is an establishment that can only be replaced by hereditary.
Okay.
Sadly, that is where we are going. Now, if we continue like that, yesterday I was discussing with my friend when we talk about in a Nigeria of tomorrow, give ourselves 15, 20 years ago, where those who attended, wrote the exam without ChatGPT, will now be in charge of our hospitals. They will now be in charge of our health sectors. They will now be in charge of our judiciary. All sectors of government. What do we do in that kind of... That is a question you're asking me. So I look at a gloomy future ahead of judicial environment if nothing is done to revert to the good old days where appointment can only come by way of merit, passing through the procedure. NBA has a hand in the appointment of a judge.
Okay.
But for now, it is more of procedural. Because even when there are complaints against a particular person, those who really want the person to be will ignore the procedure, subvert the procedure, and because they have said it, it must be that person, it must be that person. So it's not only in the judiciary, it's everywhere. Everywhere.
No, but okay, we've taken it broader, but let's bring it down to the judiciary because, the judiciary is supposed to be the hope of the common man.
Ordinarily, it should be the hope of the common man. Ordinarily.
So will it get worse, not just for politicians, but will it get worse for we, the common man,
the sad thing is that it is the politicians that will bring these cases to court and set the law rewrite
the
the
precedents.
law. Yes,
all right.
for us to follow. It is the activities that leads to filing those suits. And it is the consequences of that, their actions, that the court will make a judgment one way or the other. And that law becomes binding on you and I, who are not privy to that disagreement.
But doesn't hope lie in the Supreme Court overturning these decisions?
How is the appointment going? Now, very good. The Court of Appeal had the political will or the judicial will to immediately, because I was asking, the judgment was given on Friday. How did these people got a date at the Court of Appeal within Friday to Tuesday, when that stay of
execution.
when that stay of that, even that judgment was stayed? How? As I speak to you, there are cases at the Court of Appeal dated far back 1990 something, early 2000. They have not been attended to. So it will take an extraordinary person to move to get that earlier date to be heard. If not, consequences would have been happening when the judgment is given. Imagine INEC going ahead with the order of leave to deregister ADC. What are the political consequences, implications that will happen to the society generally? You deregister ADC, in other words, their presidential candidate for now is partyless, and he cannot sponsor himself. The time within which to seek primaries in other political parties has elapsed. And others, senators, House of Reps, governors, aspirants, persons who are aspiring to be in these politics offices, that singular judgment has cut their political aspirations short for no consequences of theirs or actions of theirs. So until we see a society or a judiciary where we are going back to what does the law say when it comes to appointment of a judge in Rivers State, Rivers State High Court, the law that establishes, what does the law say? Let's go back to the Constitution. There is a provision. You will recommend. After recommending, they will send to a body who will screen, send it to their people to confirm. If they passes the exam over there, they come back, governor swears there. But we are here in Rivers State when a particular judge from the magistrate was seen to be the best during his time when he appeared for NJC's screening. It was the best amongst his time. But when he was sent back to Rivers State for swearing in, the governor refused to swear that judge in. What were the offenses? Nothing, because I dislike your face. So until we begin to see a society that the rule of the mind doesn't exist, it is the rule of law that should exist, then the future is bleak.
All right. On that note, ladies and gentlemen, here's where you come in. You've heard the hierarchy of courts, what amounts to judicial rascality, and the breakdown. Do you have any questions? Do you have thoughts? 0810-9510-951. 0810-9510-951. For voice notes, text messages, and WhatsApp messages, 0701-9339-962. 0701-9339-962. Of course, we have comments already on Facebook, so yes, you can go there. Today, 95.1 FM, and leave your thoughts. I'll also be checking X to see if there are messages there as well. All right, let's take this call. 95.1, welcome to the show. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Yeah, no, listen. Good morning once again.
Good morning.
My master, good morning, sir.
Good morning, oh.
I called the master because you speak well. For me, this matter, the only solution that enter my mind is where the mason or bricklayer stop to build houses. So these judges and judiciary or the courts, that's where everything will be solved.
All right.
There will no solving. Thank you.
All right, thank you for calling. 95.1, welcome to the show. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Don. Wilson.
Mascot?
Thank you so much.
Welcome to the show.
You know, I always salute you as a great lawyer, journalist. I agree to the Wilson. My only younger brother, very intelligent, down-to-earth lawyer, Elugene Jamala. Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Thank you so much. I greet all of you. What is happening? I have always said that the judiciary will one day put this country into disorder, lawlessness, and anarchy. Because of, especially, two of you are ministers in the Temple of Justice. What is happening at our state and federal high court, where it has become a foreign shopping. Anyhow you like it, you take it. You will see about 4 judges, either from the state high court or federal court, giving conflicting orders and judgments at the same time on the same issue. At least for now, I have had that privilege to call Justice Peter Alifo a judicial rascal, considering what the Court of Appeal said, that what he did is judicial rascality. So he is a judicial rascal. So for me, something must be done. And what is that thing that must be done? That is punishment.
All right.
That must be deterrent to any judicial officer. You cannot ride or stay under the privilege of giving a judgment and you thwart the Constitution. You throw away hierarchy. Throw away every known, even a secondary school student will know what is applicable. You must override it and throw it away because you are under immunity as a judicial officer.
Okay. Thank you for calling.
So something must be done to act as a police measure, a decisive measure.
All right.
On judges who give judgment outside the Constitution.
All right. Thank you for calling.
And God bless you.
95.1, welcome to the show. What's your name? Where are you calling from? Hello? All right, looks like that one dropped. 0810-951-0951, 0810-951-0951. All right, we have this text message here. Done by the interpretation of your barrister guest as concerns rascality to be mischievous, shouldn't Justice Peter Lifu be punished by the NJC for his mischievousness against the law and Nigerian state Nduka? Well, yes, he did also say, yes, there should be some kind of punishment, but, well, this is Nigeria after all. 95.1, welcome to the show. What's your name? Where are you calling from? Hello? Are we having network issues? I pick up and it drops. All right. I think somebody is flashing. Please, can you stop that? Let's try this one now. 95.1, welcome to the show. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Nobody is flashing. It's like it's network. Good morning. My name is Leto Misa.
All right. Go ahead.
This is the height of it. The people that drink say this is high of it, rascality. But to me, in judgment or in maybe police wants to arrest somebody that went go out to steal, the person that they say if you steal or person that steals that sells to somebody, that they are both complice in that crime. What will the judiciary do to those people that always bring this kind of case to the court when you know that this thing is not right, this thing is not good? What will the judiciary do to those kind of people? Mostly the politician that is aiding them to behave rascal, not even rascality, now rascal.
All right.
That is the height of it. If that judge is from my community, I will raise a protest to disown him from the community. This is the height of it.
All right, thank you. Thank you for calling. 95.1, welcome to the show. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Well, thank you, Don. Good morning, and good morning to the lawyer there.
Good morning, sir.
Yes, I am Dr. Chris. You see, the other day, a student, a medical student, final year supposedly, walked into the hospital and wanted to go to changing room to enter theater. I saw what she was wearing. I sent her back home and asked her she should come back after 30 minutes and show herself to me to have dressed properly before she can go and change and come into the theater. That is where it starts from. You understand?
All right.
You see, it appears it's still only in medical profession that there are still sanity. But we expect more from the lawyers, from the judges, because you have to be a lawyer first before you become a judge or you become a justice or whatever it calls. So, I mean, people are failing us.
No.
I would want one of my children to be a lawyer. But I think they won't be in this kind of dispensation of lawyers we see.
We still have good
You know,
ones.
you carrying out jungle justice.
You
and
don't
doing
have
so
to
many
call the
things.
dream of
It's
your
a
child
shame
if he
to the
wants
legal
to.
profession. It's a shame, a big one.
All right.
Like the last caller said, if that guy is from the village, but the one where is the man's village? His village is MBA. MBA should do something.
All right.
Into Wahala one day.
Thank you.
And it will fall on all of your heads.
No.
Even the ones that say heaven will not fall. When the heaven falls, keep bribing the justices. When the heaven falls, it will fall on all of your heads. It's so annoying.
All right. Thank you for calling. And 95.1. Welcome to the show. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Yeah, thank you, Lady B, once again. Lady B, I want to disagree with the narrative that the judiciary is our problem in this country.
All right.
Rather, I would say that it is the function of the judiciary that is the problem. Same with every other arm of government, both legislative arm, executive arm. The function. These institutions are okay to pilot the affairs of the government. But the functions, I have seen where judicial officers who propose that, or who sometimes infer that what the Supreme Court says is final, the status victors or whatever. But what if it does not favor their personal interest? They can come on air and castigate the Supreme Court. For instance, the state of emergency. The Supreme Court has ruled that state of emergency was necessary and the president was right. But if you ask some judicial officers, some lawyers, they will tell you that it's an illegal state of emergency, castigating the same Supreme Court, which has ruled what is right in the sight of the law. You see? So we should not be condemning the institution, which when the thing does not favor our personal interest.
All right.
But we turn around to blame the institution.
Okay,
so
okay. Thank you. We get you.
we
We
will
get you. Thank you. Let's take some messages so we can get back to the phone calls. Presenter and the legal counsel. What is the difference between legality and morality? Secondly, legality and morality. Which one should take preeminence? That's John O. Go.
Because most of the concern I would have raised, I'm beginning to have short memory, so the questions are fading.
All right.
Now, the difference between legal and morality. Legal issues are what a statutes have defined. An offense, assuming an offense. The law has said so. The other one is morality. Morality is rooted in culture. There is no universal morality. What your society operates is what guides your morality. And so in some countries, fornication has been codified to be legal. In some countries, abortion has been codified to be legal. But in your own society, these things are not illegal because our morality, our culture sometimes disagrees with these things. And we are finding it difficult to bring it into our laws. So simply say legal has been defined by status government instrument. Morality, what your people believes in, or just put in the way culture.
Okay. All right. Let's go back to messages. Hi, Lady Dawn and Barrister. Dawn, I have told you countless times that law and constitution is death in Nigeria. Take it or leave it. That's the truth. That's from Eric. Let's see. The Court of Appeal judgment has finally put a nail on the coffin of the judiciary and our notion on how the executive arm has twisted the sword of justice. Such rascality could be likened to what happened in the case of Nnamdi Kanu and his purported sentence. These people you regard as learned but cannot different jurisdiction. I don't understand that line. But cannot different jurisdiction. They should keep disgracing themselves, Sir Carlo. Sincerely, there is no hope for Nigeria if the judiciary could descend to meddling and swindling and perverting justice. You could imagine how poor the judiciary has been immediately after Goodluck Ebele's tenure. Disobedience of court order, promotion of judges, etc. Appeal court has exposed just a modicum of immense corruption in that organ. I pity those living in Nigeria now that Tinubu and Wike are reigning. No wonder Nnamdi Kanu was asking for the law that sentenced him. Okay, that's still Sir Carlo. All right, let's get to this one. Don, good morning. A situation where a high court gave a judgment on a matter and the other party went on appeal on the matter, but without the stay of execution of the high court ruling, is it proper for a permanent secretary to now write a letter nullifying the ruling of high court and asking the beneficiary of the ruling not to enjoy his judgment? Ibi Fubara from Rumosi. All right, we have a voice note, actually. Let's take this.
Yeah, good morning once again, Don Wilson. I remain Radio Senate President in Kembilon. I want to thank you again. Good morning, sir. Happy weekend. You are a good man. You are a very good man. You love Nigeria. I like your analysis. No bias. So I call your account number. That will show you love. You are a good man. We need people like you. Having said that, Don Wilson, I'm titled to my opinion, Don Wilson. Don't allow anybody to bully me. It's titled to my opinion, okay? For this is judicial rascality. I'm not surprised. I don't know whether you people are surprised. And I knew you people forgot it. That the same justice, I don't know his name, is a move for what it. He's one of the people we can give house. Yes, in the Federal High Court in Abuja. There, he's one of them. He received house a few days ago. He was there. Don't forget, I am in Abuja. He's there. So what are we talking about when we say serving ministers should not build house to judiciary? This is the situation we find ourselves. This is what we are talking about. This corruption. Yes, the judiciary have a pocket. A situation. NJC have budget. They are not building house. They channel the money to NJC. Let them use their hand. Build house. A minister is building house to them, controlling them. So to me, nothing we can do until this APC kick out of the government. Yes, because I believe that there be bribe reduced. Building house to them. So who do you think is responsible to all this rascality judiciary? Can build on. Thank you.
All right, we have some messages on Facebook. Let's see how fast I can go. Adi Orji, AKOCC, the appeal court judgment in the ADC ruling has proved that our legal system has political interest, which is a wrong norms. Chile Edwin, judicial rascality is a reality in Nigeria, especially when it has to do with political issues. But unfortunately, those who operate the systems are the beneficiaries and cannot check the system. And this is to the detriment of the ordinary people of the society. Innocent Aloysius, when a politician is openly giving judges houses and landed properties, I mean openly, and you're telling me that the judges will not compromise. The Nigeria judicial system has been captured by politicians, so Nigeria is in a sorry state. Oh wow, so many responses, so little time. All right, let's see. If I collect 1 billion naira as a judge and give false judgment that can destroy a system and I'm not punished, then why should a kidnapper who collected 200,000 be punished in Duka? All right, that's an interesting take. A dangerous one, but an interesting take. Unfortunately, this is where we have to bring the show to a close. So much going on. Even the phone lines are still buzzing. There's nothing I can do. Barrister Living, Gifting, Jamala, any final thoughts before we have to leave?
Let me just use a few seconds to say, one of the erroneous beliefs that has been existing in Nigerians' mind is that the NBA have the right or the powers to punish erring judicial officers. Please, that is not true. The NBA has only the authority to discipline its members, that is, lawyers.
Okay.
The responsibility of disciplining judicial officers lies with the National Judicial Commission and not the NBA.
I think there's a LDC or there's
LPDC, Legal Practitioners Disciplinary Committee.
Yeah,
those are the body responsible for the discipline of lawyers.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is where we sadly have to bring the show to a close. Yes, I know politics is quite interesting to discuss, but, well, what can we say? Dr. Chris, please. Law is a noble profession. I wish I could tell you my experiences, law dinners, sitting down with some revered judges. They're dead now. Revered judges. Allow your kids. Nigeria go better, hopefully. All right.
There's no even time to discuss about the medical sector. I would have also exposed
maybe next week.
I will also expose his weakness.
Maybe next week. All right. A little music, and then when we come back, Family Circle with Harriet Ojigba. We'll be right back.
Talk radio. I listen to a lot of talk radio.
95.1 FM.
Say no to the ordinary. Embrace the extraordinary. Because we are the voice of the people. Voice of the people. Today, 95.1 FM.
Today, 95.1 FM.
95.1 FM, Voice of the People.
And we're back.
Four minutes past 11. This is what I like to call the home stretch. And hopefully from 6:30 till now, you guys have been having a blast with me. My name is Don Mose, and of course, the frequency you should be stuck to, Today 95.1 FM. And this hour, we have something for the fathers, the mothers, and, young adults. It's Family Circle with Harriet Ujigba. And today she is here to tell us something fiery, educational, enlightening, thought-provoking. I can't wait. So today's topic, 5 mistakes a married woman should never make in marriage. So, ladies with rings, are you ready? Welcome to the show. Welcome to the show, madam.
It's always a pleasure to be here because I know many people are just waiting. Oh, Harriet, is she around?
Okay.
Last week I was not around because I was an MC in my church, so I had to do I had to do the church thing first.
You literally wear many hats. You're a fashion designer. You should see. Please go to YouTube. You should see how she's dressed. She would give what's his name now? This guy in The Godfather a run for his money.
I'm telling you.
Word. So yes, many hats. Counselor,
yes,
fashion designer,
yeah,
mother,
model.
wife,
I'm telling you,
and
just
also,
name it.
Also an MC now.
An MC, yes, I'm an MC. I do it very well.
I'm pretty sure there's more.
There's more.
Okay. God really blessed you.
You know, my role model is a virtuous woman in the Bible, Proverbs 31 woman.
Oh wow,
yes,
okay.
that's my role model. So I'm trying to copy.
Okay. All right, fire away. Let's go.
Okay, you see, marriage is actually a beautiful thing.
Yes.
Beautiful thing, especially for the women. You know, we're excited about marriage. Mm-hmm. We can't wait to wear a wedding gown, and we are excited when it comes to marriage. You know, but marriage requires wisdom, intentional choices, and discipline. These 3 things must go along with us as women and as mothers that's ready to build a very successful home.
All right.
I said wisdom, discipline, and intentional choices. So today we are going to talk about some mistakes that you should never make as a married woman. As a woman who's trying to build a home, a perfect home, do not make these mistakes because they are very expensive and they are very costly. It might end you not actually enjoying your marriage. You'll just be enjoying that marriage. A marriage is made for enjoyment and not to be endured. The first reason why God created marriage was for companionship. Children were the fallout, the blessing that came from that union. And it's not supposed to replace the actual fact that God created marriage for companionship. So you having children does not replace it. Your wife does not become a second hand. Not that your husband become a second hand. That companionship was the first reason God created marriage. So if you are in a relationship and that thing is missing, you know, you lack that companionship, you know, that friendship, then you are just in marriage. You are not in marriage. You are not enjoying marriage. Because most women are in marriage right now, not because they are happy inside that marriage. They're just emotionally attached to that marriage because of their children, because of the comfort they found in their children. They find solace in their children. But was that why God created marriage? No, it's not because of your children alone. What about your husband? What happens? There's an emotional distance already. What's happened? When a man is high cold, a woman is talking to her husband, and the man is muted and high cold. How does the woman feel? She feels devalued. It's anything that can bruise a woman's ego is when he speaks to the husband and the husband becomes silent, you know, ice cold. You know, you feel devalued. You're speaking to a husband, he's looking at you and he's not answering you. He walks away. Do you understand? But I keep telling women, it didn't start one day. Before a man withdraws from you completely, it must also be your actions, your reaction, the way you communicate. You know, that's going to be for another day. But let's talk of some of the constantly mistakes that a woman should never make in marriage. And number one, in no particular order, is never in your life remain in the way that your husband met you. Yes. Never. As a woman hearing the sound of my voice, I don't know where you are now, the place you are, the position you are, your status or whatever, a housewife or what, I don't know. But my advice for you, please never remain where you are the way your husband, never remain the way your husband met you. Even when you are an undergraduate, you are going to school, and it happens that the marriage, you can always get married, even in university. Why not? But make sure that even if after giving birth to that child, go back to school and complete that degree. Get that degree. I know why I'm saying this as the number one. It is very, very important that marriage is not about stagnation. It's about involvement. It's about growth. And the growth cannot be one-sided. It has to be between the two persons. Like we just said this morning, I told you my role model is the virtuous woman, the Proverbs 31 woman. She is a merchant. She's a seamstress. She's an upholsterer. She's a farmer. Just one woman. As a matter of fact, they say when the husband sits with the headers at the gate, he's being respected. Why? Because of the wife. So if there was nothing of hard work, do you understand? There's no need for the Bible to have referred to a virtuous woman in the Bible. Who she is, what she does. Only one woman, an upholsterer, a farmer, a seamstress. Do you understand? So, to every woman hearing the sound of my voice, please, don't be static. Don't be basic. If you have to go to school, go to school. If you have to acquire more skills, acquire more skills. It is never enough. Go back to school. Like me, I'm still in school with every degrees, 2 masters already. I am still going to school because this is what gives you that value and respect in your home, in spite of your husband. What of your husband's relations? What of your in-laws? You understand? They feel you're not just there eating their son's money. You have something doing. That's why I tell women, look, apart from your marital role as mother, as wife, you understand, as a wife to your husband, you also have a purpose. You also have a purpose why you were created. There's something you will also need to fulfill before you leave this office of the head. God created every woman and gave them, man and woman, a purpose. Do you understand? So in spite of our marital roles, our obligations as mothers or as wife, we still have a life to live, a purpose to fulfill. So you don't shrink. Oh, because my husband said this, hey, I don't want to work, you want to sit at home. Many women are complaining bitterly right now. They're in toxic relationship, not because they are enjoying the marriage, they're enjoying that marriage, but because they look at themselves, 5 children, where will I go to? They are physically and emotionally abused. They can see death in front of them, but where will they go to? It's like between the devil and the deep blue sea. Where do you go to? I have 5 children. They say, can a woman forget a suckling child? It's very difficult for a woman to forget a suckling child. Do you understand? That is how their emotional attachment mothers have with their children. Okay, if I take these 5 children along with me, even though I see death, how can I take care of these children? How can I fend for them? Because you actually were not doing anything. You sat down, you're not doing anything, the man was bringing anything. Nobody knows who goes first. I tell women, do not sit, do not remain in the way your husband met you. Because nobody knows who goes first. Nobody's praying for death. But one person will have to leave someday. Do not sit at home. So the worst mistake you can ever make as a woman is not to grow. Somebody told me a story. This is a real story. A woman was going to school. You understand? She's an adult already. She's married and she's going to school. Okay. But all of a sudden, the husband, there was a downsizing in the company, and the husband was affected. Yeah. And because of one certificate that the husband did not have, so the husband had called the wife that, look, things are like this now. What do we do? So the wife now said, okay, don't worry. You have to go back to school. Don't worry. With the little business I'm doing, I can help you. Go back to school and get this degree. Yeah. So that you get a better work, and we also live this life of poverty and everything. That's a virtuous woman, a good woman who is ready to assist. You understand? That is what Harriet Ojegba will also do. You know, as every good woman, you know, the man say, okay, started going to school. But meanwhile, the school that this woman was going to before, because she looked at the financial implications, she said, no, okay, let me drop out and let me support my husband. Okay. He supported the man. The man had got the job, very good job at that matter. But what happened? The man, all of a sudden, when money started flowing in. That's why I tell women, you will never know a man until he has wealth. If a man has wealth and is still humble, it takes the grace of God. And is still humble, it takes the grace of God. I know what I'm talking about. You know, so the woman said he notices that the man comes down 11, 12. At times 1 o'clock in the night, you talk to him, he's very rude, aggressive, you know. The woman said, look, I've never seen my husband this way. This man that comes early, assists me, even domestically and every other thing. Yeah. What has changed? Is it this money that you have? What is it? Issue started arising. So now, to cut the long story short, they have end of year parties in their offices and everything. So the wife and the children will normally go. Sometimes I accompany my husband, will go for the end of year party and all that. So the woman was preparing because she knows that the husband said there's an end of year party. And do you know what the man told the woman? That you are not going with me. Oh no. Why will you go with me? He said, because you don't befit my status right now. Yes. You can't even speak one good English, good sentences. So my colleagues will come and ask, you cannot even make one good sentence. You are not going with me. The woman almost died. And he came to us, a counselor. What do we do? I said, the mistake you did was like, you are a good woman. Everything you've done is perfect, but you shouldn't have also dropped out. I know the financial implication is much on you. You would have even reduced it. Maybe go to a roadside school that you can pay lesser. You understand? Yes, adult education that you pay very cheap and lesser. So as your husband is also going to school, you are also growing alongside. You don't leave yourself. Do you understand? That's where the issues started. And I told her, look, this is a challenge and it's a battle. Your husband told you this. Don't worry. Women must grow emotional resilience. You don't leave the marriage, you will stay in that marriage, but you will prove a point. I told her, go back to school. It's not too late. You still have money to take care of. He said, yes, that money I was using, I still keep some. I have. I said, yeah, go back to school and go and read. The woman went, came back, had a degree today. What happened? The man right now is coming to apologize to the woman. Do you understand? It's a challenge. It is a challenge. So every woman hearing the sound of my voice, yes, we have to assist when we need to assist, but don't neglect yourself. Okay. You are very, very important. All so right. That is the number one of it. Yeah. Never remain where you are. Never remain the way you are. When your husband met you, you grow, you evolve. That is marriage. It's about growth. As he is growing, you too, you are growing. Yeah. It's very important. Your respect, your dignity, everything will be at stake if you do not do that. Life, the only thing that is permanent in life is change. People change. Indeed. People can change. So take note of that. So let's move to the number 2. The number 2 is never forget your first love.
I hope the first love is Jesus Christ too.
Of course! That's where I'm going to.
That was a bit scary. All right. All right.
How do you know where I'm going to? Never forget your first love, which is God Almighty and His beloved Son, Jesus Christ. Never forget them. Because if you forget them, the marriage can never be stable. Never be stable. Okay. They say a 3-chord stand is hardly broken. A 3-chord stand. You, your husband, and God in the middle is hardly broken. Okay. A 3-chord stand. Maybe 2 you can break, but if there are 3, it's firm. To break it is difficult. So never forget your first love. Why am I saying that? There are women that are choristers in the church. When they sing, you feel the Holy Spirit around you. Do you understand? There are women who go to Sunday schools and teach the younger girls. But because they are so spiritual, they know so much about the Bible, they are so dedicated. They teach younger ones in Sunday school. They come early, they teach. The teachers, they are workers in the church. People know them. And when it came to marriage, they asked God for marriage. They got to a stage like, God, it's time for me to get married. They prayed, they fasted. And God came and asked them and said, okay, what do you want, my daughter? A man, children, I will give it to you. And God did, and He gave it to them. Well, what happened? Children came in. Excuse started. Oh, today I cannot go to choir practice now. I have children now. These children will not even allow me to rest. Really? But when you were asking God for these children, asking God for a husband, you didn't give excuse that these children will come in one day and they will not make you will not forget your first love. Women don't understand. You can never build a skyscraper and buy a pass my neighbor generator to power it. A woman needs prayer. Women are crying right now. They are emotionally drained and exhausted. One told me, look, I'm almost committing suicide. I say, no. If you commit suicide, that man will get married to your best friend. They will raise children. They will suffer your children. Do you understand? And the punishment might not be on them almost immediately. Yeah. But you are gone. So you don't die. You must build an emotional resilience. Take the challenge. Hey, you die, your best friend marries, your best friend will marry your husband. And they will have children. And the sentence it will not be passed on them almost immediately. Do you understand? So don't think, if you die, God will just... No, please. You have to grow that emotional resilience in yourself. Yeah. So we know that we cannot build a house without God. It's impossible. So when the children come in, that's why St. Paul made a statement. People felt St. Paul didn't get married for a reason. He didn't want to get married. St. Paul said, look, if you can hold yourself, if you can keep yourself, you don't have that sexual urge, to commit sin, go into immorality and everything, stay without getting married. He has a reason, because he knows that when you get married, a lot of distractions will come. That first love, God was your first love. Jesus Christ was your first love. That zeal that you have initially will come down because a lot of distractions have come in. So he now made a statement like, if it is possible, if you can hold yourself, don't even get married, because the kingdom of God is the ultimate. All this fight. Yesterday I was watching there's Alex Ekubo being buried. The first day being buried. Yes. It was touching. Fine boy, no pimples. But right now, now, the warm, everything we hit it. There's nothing like fine boy anymore. It is gone and it's over. Do you know what I'm trying to say? So the ultimate is where we are looking to. The purpose, our purpose on earth. That is what I am talking about right now. So when you neglect God, your first love, because children have come in, husband distractions have come in, and you leave God, my dear, for you to survive that marriage, to build that skyscrapers, you will need God. I see women cry a lot. The men are cheaters. They cheat on their wives. Okay. Every issue is, oh, my husband is cheating. Not with small girls, 1, 2, 3. You know, these women are emotionally drained. And I look at them. Do you know your father? Do you know your source? If you know your source, that your source is not even from your biological parents, you have an extraordinary, a supernatural being who you came from. A woman, you are at risk because the more your husband goes out and sleep with all these women, they are bringing a darkness into your home and into your life. You can even die. I know of a woman who got AIDS through the husband. The husband didn't tell him that he has contacted it. Meanwhile, he's taking drug. And he didn't tell the woman. He slept with the woman. The woman got AIDS. And everybody felt it was malaria. He treated the woman. Before it became a full-blown AIDS, the woman died until the man confessed that he had AIDS. So your life is even at stake. So what are you doing as a woman? I'm not telling you. That's why I don't teach women to fight the men. Okay. I teach them to win a marriage. How do you win a marriage? Go on your knees and pray. Who is your husband? You is your husband. Women cannot change men. Men cannot change women. It's when they decide to change. But there's somebody upstairs that can immediately change them. Go on your knees and pray for them. Because your life is at risk. What are you doing? Do you know the source? Do you know who you are? It's a woman that builds a home. Proverbs 14 verse 1 said the wise woman builds a house. Why the foolish one will pluck it down? The power is in your hands. The remote control is in your hands. Go on your knees and pray like Hannah. I don't like people who pray and the roof of the house will be pulling off and all that. Pray like Anna. Anna was praying. Nobody could hear her voice. Elkanah the priest was there and said, are you mad? Are you speaking? Are you drunk? And I said, no. The reply was even calm and fair. No, I'm not drunk. It is the pain in my heart that I have come to express. But they say, he who calls for equity must come with a clean hands. So as a woman, if you give raiment to raiment, and you go back to God and ask God, my husband is misbehaving, he's carrying women all up and down. But meanwhile, you give him hits and pressure in the house. You call God, God will not answer. Okay. So I have come in with a course. And this course is called the Marriage Restoration. From struggling to striving. It is a 2-week course, intensive course for women that are in emotionally broken relationship. I want to tell the women that, look, you can work on yourself alone. I don't need your husband. I don't need your spouse. I will work on you because 80% of all these marital challenges you are seeing lies in the hands of the women. Why? Because the women are the ones who build home. Once they can get it right, the men are 20%. I want to teach you what is called emotional regulation, communication skills. Our parents never taught us that. They told us love your husband, be chaste, be discreet, but they never taught us how to control our emotions when it's under pressure, how to speak, how to communicate. Some of us are just communicating based on how we saw our mother, the way our mother was speaking to our father, whether it was wrong or not right. Do you understand? So this 2-week course is just 50,000 naira. You enroll, you come in, I'll bring you 2 weeks. Even if you have been answering Deborah before, you are going to answer Esther. By the time you finish from this course, do you understand? So every woman needs that emotional resilience, fight for your marriage. It's very important. You are the own builder. When you call God, He will answer. But you must ensure that your hands are clean. That's why I said you never forget your first love. Those things you were doing in the church before, children or husband should not deprive you, because there are times you will need God, and God will not be there for you because you have also forsake Him. So it's very important we don't forget our first love. So let's move.
So let's go to number 3.
Number 3.
All right.
It's one of the highest.
Okay.
Number 3 is...
I hope we can do it.
We can do it.
Okay.
We can do it.
Okay.
Why not? We can do it. Number 3. Infidelity.
Okay.
Infidelity. Never be tempted, physically or emotionally. I've heard women say, if a man cheats, I will cheat. Okay. Like, seriously? Hey, a man cheats, you will cheat. This is not to justify a man when the man cheats anyway. Do you understand? This is not to justify them. Because the punishment that's also going to be inflicted on the man is also inflicted on the woman. Okay. So this is not to justify them. But I want to let women understand one thing today as we speak. Look, women, there's one divinity around women. We are enclosed. Do you understand? Okay. We take, we don't give. We are not donors. We take. So by rights, by creation, we are not supposed to take more than one man. because of our nature, the way we build, we receive.
All right.
When Eve was made, Eve was presented to Adam, not Adam presented to Eve. So you can see there's an implication there. So every woman hearing the sound of my voice, yes, men cheat and you think they go away with it. They don't go. Their judgment, they are going to face the judgment of God. Some at a dying bed, they begin to regret all their actions. You might not know the sentence of it's not passed almost immediately on them. But as a woman, if you dare it spiritually, you die that day. The day you allow another man to cross you. This is very serious. This is the most serious. I told you, this is war. The day you allow another man to cross you, spiritually, you are dead. You're just alive. You are dead. There's nothing you will do spiritually then. You are finished. That a woman. And I want to tell women that sometimes traditional marriage, everybody have their tradition. Yes. In my place, I didn't know until I grew up to this stage, as a counselor, I was trying to understand tradition and how it works. In my place, if they get married to you as a wife, before they pronounce you the wife, traditional marriage, you have to sit on your husband's leg for 7 times. They will carry you 1. People will count. They will bring you up. 2, to the 7th time, and the old people will chorus. Rule 7 in my language. What does it mean? You are not supposed to sit on another man's leg. That husband is your husband for life. So you might not know the traditional implication of that thing they were doing, carrying you 7 times on the leg of your husband, bringing you, telling you, look, for life, this man is your own. So a man that does not know, men that like sleeping with married women, know that there are some implications, even in traditional marriage they've done, I wouldn't know. But my place, I'm telling you, that 7 times they carry you, it means something. It's significant. So if you don't know, you carry a married woman, because some men, they say, they like married women because they don't give them stress. They have their own home to protect. So they are very careful. But so every married man hearing the sound of my voice who goes to married women, the day you do, you are dead. Spiritually, in fact, you are finished. There's something my father used to say. If all the sons are getting married, I was small, but I happened to hear, I can still remember what my father used to tell them. He takes them to the room and say, come, let me advise you of 2 things. If you have to live long in the surface of this earth as a man, there are 2 things you should never do. And what are they? You will never steal. Don't take another man's property. And you will never cross another woman, another man's wife. Don't. If you do these 2 things, your life will be shortened. You will die early. But if you can avoid these 2 things, you will live long. So most of the men that are doing this thing, they don't even know the implication of what they are doing. Not to talk of the women themselves. I mean, it's appalling. How do you hear of a woman? That's a society, society frowns at it. Yes, it frowns at it. And women are like, why is it that society is frowning at their own? What of the men that cheats? The men also have their punishment. But I'm just telling you, biologically, the way you are created, by creation, the way you are made, you are enclosed. Do you understand? You are not supposed to receive more than one person. You are enclosed. So you must know the way you are created. And by right, it is not just, by the men. Let me tell you a story on the Bible. It's in 1 Corinthians or something like that. If a man takes a wife, and it is discovered on that day that the wife is no longer a virgin, that somebody has taken a token of this woman's virginity, what does it do? It goes to the elder of the land to complain that this woman I have just got married to, I slept with her and I discovered that she's no longer a virgin. What will happen? If it is discovered that that woman is no longer a virgin, she will be taken to the front of her father's compound and stoned to death. Outright death. They will stone you to death in front of your father's house. You will die. But what happened? If it was discovered that the man was actually lying, that there's a proof to show that this man is actually the one that is virgin, the lady, that he was lying, the woman will carry the evidence, which is the bed sheet, take it to the father, and they will take it to the elders of the land. And if it is proven that the man was lying, what will they do to the man? They will tell him to pay some shekels of silver. And that's all.
Wow.
No, that's all. So, biblically itself, so women should live in, but you are dead spiritually. Never. This is the most costliest mistake a woman will ever make, emotionally or physically. Now, many women are cheating on their husbands emotionally, and they feel, it's not physical. A man is cheating with, is flirting with you on phone, telling you certain things, intimate things, and you are there. You are encouraging the man. You are laughing. You are enjoying it. What did Jesus Christ say? Look, the main thought of it in your heart, even without the physical contact, you have already sinned. So to every woman hearing the sound of my voice, if you're married, if there is this man or this hesses, because I know women who see keeps their hesses phone number in the phone. Okay. Why are you keeping it? What do you need your hesses for crying aloud? It is over. You see, temptation is not far. It's not far. That's why I say, Bible says, flee, do not walk. If you can disappear, disappear. Because it starts one day, exchange your phone number. Hello, how are you? Are you good? Just like the one that happened between the musician, yes, the musician, and I'm sure it started okay because the woman is an interior decorator. Okay, please come to my house. I want some. Can you do something for me? And everybody. It started by just exchange of phone numbers before you know it. That's why if a man is going to flirt with you, please do not wait. I was at home recently and somebody sent me a text message. Yeah. He's an elder. I know him very well. I know the children are my friend. He sent me a message. I'm like, Arias, you look like one white lady that I used to know. I like your personality, the way you carry yourself, the way you dress, the way you talk and everything. You are wife material. Okay, fine. That's appreciation. And I said, we thank God, sir. Do you understand? Yeah. I said, we thank God, sir. Then all of a sudden, after 5 minutes, another text message come. I truly love you. I truly love you. I truly love you. I want to know your take on this. Like, seriously? Boom! I just forward the message to my husband because my husband knows him. It's a family. He's like, we know him. We know the children. The children are I mentor the children. So why will you bring yourself so low before me to do that? I said to my husband. My husband said, like, what? Are you serious? I said, yes, I'm very serious. My husband said, okay, keep quiet. You have another video, just keep quiet, don't worry. Let him continue to send message and implicate himself the more. What did I do? I've just averted something. Do you understand? But not all men can take that. So I will also advise the women. You know your husband. My husband knows me. I can go to anywhere. He's not a runner, but he knows I am where I should be right now. I'm supposed to pick him up very soon after this program. He said, Harriet, once you're through your program, please pick me up in the airport. Do you understand? He knows where I am at this time. That's trust for you. You know. But there's some husbands, as soon as you forward that message to them and tell them, it becomes, yes, a victim. You cannot move again. Any small thing, you're talking to a man, hey, maybe.
It's funny. All right.
So you must know who your husband is. Okay. Do you understand? Right. Before you take that move. Right. But if you can fight, emotionally fight. Do not, if I don't entertain it, don't allow it to progress. Put an end to it immediately. Oh, you appreciated me the first time. I said, yes, fine, thank you. The second time, no, Oga, please, I'm a married woman. Give me that respect. I deserve the respect from you. If you don't stop, I will bring my husband into it. Once you tell a man like that, a man will go. So this is not something a woman should play with because you die spiritually before the eyes of God. Do not try it. Number 3.
All right. So number 4.
Number 4. Okay, let's move to number 4.
Yeah.
Never sleep out. No, that's not number 4. Okay, never neglect yourself. Yes.
Okay, never neglect
yourself. Right. That's my number 4. Yes. Never neglect yourself. You know, sometimes we, as women, you know, when we get married, especially when we're giving birth to a male child, somebody will tell you, you be landlady now. Do you understand? Because we Africans value male child, you know. So once we have that boy's first child as a boy, or maybe second as a boy, they say, you don't come. You are the landlady and every other thing. You become a landlady immediately. Do you understand? Yeah. So sometimes we neglect ourselves. We don't take care of ourselves anymore. Okay. You will see a woman this Saturday from morning to night. Yes, it's taxing. For all the things we need to do domestically, it's taxing. It's not easy. Even me, it's not easy. I tell you sometimes, you know, I'm overwhelmed. Do you understand? But never forget yourself because you are important. If you don't take care of yourself, you can't give what you don't have right now. You don't have. So make sure as a woman, even though it is not easy on us, but make sure physically, emotionally, you are okay. Take care of your physical appearance. They say men are visual beings. They are visual oriented. Sometimes you might feel, because this your bust is no longer standing, and the waist is no longer, you know, that hourglass shape is no longer howering. Do you understand? Because you are giving birth to children and all that. Sometimes these men are not actually looking at that because they know that you've given birth to children. There's no way you can remember that same woman that they met how many years ago. They know.
Okay,
most of them know.
But there are some men that still make the snarky comment of, look at you, your this don't fall, your that has gone. So what do you do in those situations?
No, in this situation, look, because your head is also at stake. Yeah. Okay. Do you understand? It could be your nation that you can do all the exercise, you are still who you are. Right. That's why I tell men, if you want to get married sometimes, go and look at the mother of your bride.
That will be your wife.
Yes, that will be your wife in the future. So if you do not like what you see in the mother, then please go for the slimmer one, because you cannot force a woman's child to go into dieting and she dies off, you marry another woman. No, you don't do that.
All right.
So as a woman, you have to build that emotional resilience, and that's what my course is going to teach you, because you still have your life to live outside your marital life. Do you understand? You have to also live for your children, live for your husband. So your husband is pressurizing you, go and take this piece, go and take this piece. It's for your own health, but if it gets too much, it becomes something else. Okay. So that's where that emotional resilience comes in. Okay, I've had you, but then this is me. I cannot kill myself. You understand? So it comes in and you maintain your space. So physically, we must take care of ourselves. I know of women. There's a girl, she used to be my friend. We were growing up in university. She never takes a bath in the night. In the evening, she tells you, look, if you ask her, if you will take your bath, you're not taking your bath. You say, I rub shit for body. So sometimes I'll just laugh. I'm like, I wonder how she does the husband now, because something you didn't learn when you were growing up. So how do you manage? So women are dirty. Men have complained. You understand? Morning to night, you're tying wrapper on your chest. And like I said, men are visual beings. They are visual oriented. But women are carried away by words. It is words that influences us. But men is what they see. Do you understand? Yeah. You might be looking at it, and my husband now, what do you mean? I beg, make him come. Your husband is coming, I beg, leave him now, I beg. I'm not even taking my bath this morning, I've been busy. Do you know what I've been going through, passing through? Does this man know? He goes to work and come back, and what does he want? What? Let him come now. The house is dirty. You are dirty. You are smelling sweat. So morning to evening, you've not taken your bath on it. Saturday is even worse for them. Do you understand? Do you know your husband still sees you, still want to see? Because you are not the only, no, you are selfish. Because sometimes I tell these women you are selfish. Because you are not the only one alone in the house. Someone is also in the house that wants also to perceive good smell, wants to be around a woman, that wears this beautiful nightwear, come to the bed and every other thing. So you do not neglect your physical appearance. Yeah. This is very important. Sometimes we complain, these are our men are going out with this. Sometimes this women that pushes these men to do whatever they do. But that's not an excuse for a man that knows God. A man who wants to remain in his divine purpose, that will not push you to go and sleep with another woman. You would rather work on your wife. Something you don't like, bring your wife, bring the women to us. We will teach them what they need to know. Sometimes you might be teaching them. They might feel, you're just trying to disturb them. Okay. But when they hear from a counselor, another point of view, you see these women begin to change. I have so many women under my course right now. And I'm sure by the time they finish this course, their husband will not recognize them again. Because the way they communicate, the way they carry themselves and everything has changed. That peace they've been looking for. They think it was their husband that's actually denying them of the peace. No, it's not the husband. The way you are now and where you are planning to go, sometimes we think it's our husband. It is not our husband. It is skill gap, marriage skill gap, and it can be filled when they give you the right, things you can use almost immediately in your home, and you see the atmosphere of your home transforming, changing. Right. So appearance is very, very important. Don't neglect your appearance.
And the last one, because the phone lines have been buzzing.
Oh my goodness. So let me see. What's the fifth one? Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Never allow too many voices into your home.
Okay. Yes. Yeah, I like that.
Yes.
No third parties.
Yes, no. Never allow too many voices. Sometimes, we have friends, we have, discard your friend almost immediately because you're married. You understand? But my advice to every woman who have this group of friends, know that not everybody must have access into your marital issues, your marital lives. Yes, they're your friends. But at certain places, you have to set boundaries. Because now level don't change. And that's the truth. Level don't change. There are places you go to with your friends before normally. Do you understand? Yeah. But because you're married, you cannot go to that places anymore. Even when they call you, you will give an excuse. My friend, look, I have something to do. I've not prepared food for my husband. I've not done this. By the time you give excuse 2 or 3 times, they will understand that level have changed. They will leave you. But when you entertain it, allow them to come to your house. I know of someone that, look, she has they're about 15. They were together 15, even after marriage. You see, once in a while, the husband is coming from work. 15 women are in the house, giggling, shouting, drinking to stupor. Women. This man spoke and spoke until he finally died. Yes, women. Now, those women, almost all of them are widows as we speak. These 15 women, I know them very well. Do you understand? Group of friends. Because they can influence you. So as a married woman, be very careful, especially when you begin to discuss your intimacy, those intimacy challenges with your friends. Your friends can capitalize on it, and they will take your husband from you. There's one place my husband works. I know of a lady. He took the husband's friend, the friend's husband. Yes, to today, as we speak. She had 3 kids. Do you understand? So sometimes judgment is not passed almost immediately, but you have made a mistake by opening your mouth. Those intimate things that are very intimate between you and your husband. You will sit your friends down and you begin to discuss it. What is wrong? How are you raised, for crying aloud? So these things are very important. If you are married, limit the numbers of friends that have access to your marital affairs, your marital issues. So I think that's the last point for today. Let's see how it goes.
All right.
Thank you.
Okay, so we have posts running on Facebook concerning this conversation. You can go there and leave your thoughts and your comments there. I'll check. And for others, if you'd like to call, here are the... before I even started talking, 0810-951-0951. Text messages 0701 9339 0701 9339 All right, 95.1, welcome to the show. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Yeah, good morning once again. I remember this President Mbilo online from Abuja.
All right.
Good morning to you, Lolo.
Yeah, good morning, sir.
Yeah, God bless you. Yeah, I missed your program for a long time. But when I wanted to go to a wedding service, so as it started, I'm happy I did not miss your program. You have done good justice to this matter. I've listened to you for over past years now. So I thank God you are bringing Christianity the way you are going now. God bless you. But I have two questions before I drop.
All right.
Very important question. I wanted to know, because I listened to some children yesterday. I wanted to know whether it's possible for a married man, a man that pays for his wife, for you to be called rapist or you rape your wife. Because I've never seen any matter in the court they said a married man raped his wife. 2, is it okay for a woman to deny a husband sex as long as it's not have any health challenges? Is it supposed to be so? Thank you so much, Cambillion.
All right, thank you for calling. Let's see if we can get as much calls as we can, and then the question will be answered. 0810-9510-951, 0810-9510-951 for text messages, WhatsApp messages, and voice notes. 0701-9339-962, 0701-9339-962. Get to your messages just a second. 95.1, welcome to the show. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
My name is Robin Maja, the farmer.
All right, welcome to
the show. And I'm calling from a chair. Greetings to you, madam, our guest.
Good evening. Good morning, sir.
And Lady Dawn, good morning once more again.
Good morning to you.
You see, our guests, please don't stop talking to our women, believing that they will hear. You see that narration? Most married women like to listen to their friends other than their husband, without understanding that in some cases, those things they hear from those their friends are all fake, a way to destroy their home, so that the family can disengage, they will find their way in. Look at the example our guest is giving there now. Before I leave the floor, for those who care to listen, Lady Dawn, I wrote a song some years back, got it recorded, performed, based on this story we are talking now. And what is the title? I Will Love You Till the River Runs Dry. Every now and then they see me here and there. Ask them what they were doing. Those times they see me here and there. All they want to do is to succeed to split us apart. But because I love you, no way, I'll still love you. It's a song. Women should listen and learn. God bless you, our guest.
All right. Thank you for calling.
Amen.
95.1, welcome to the show. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hello, good morning, and good morning to everyone in the studio.
Good morning.
My name is Ikine, calling from Ikine.
All right, go ahead.
I'm not married though, but I'm actually learning a lot. But as two topics she explained, which one I 100% disagree, and the other I 50% agree. The one I 100% disagree is having a number, your ex's phone number. First of all, I would say as a human being, as a married person, male or female, you should know your friends and you should know your ex, how mature your ex is. I'm a person who today I have like 4 of my exes who are married and we are still friends. I know my boundaries. But that's because I am matured enough to know that they are married. So if our guest is saying that it is a no to have your ex's phone number, to me, I have lost a friend, not just an ex, because she is married doesn't stop her from being my friend. But if I'm the fool, sorry to use that word, to not know my boundary that my ex-girlfriend is now married, then she has every right to take off my contact. That's why I say know your friends and know how matured your ex is.
All right.
Then she also mentioned not having a lot of voices in your own, that is when I said I 50% agree. There's a friend of mine too. We met through Facebook, and when we were talking, I later on asked for her contact. She said no. I laughed and she asked me why. No, I asked her why. She said because she is married. And then I said, your marriage doesn't stop us from being friends. But thank you for telling me you're married. But you will still get me your contact and you will find out that I will be your friend, not coming to do the other thing. And till today, for I think 6 years now, we've been friends, a very good friends, and I know my boundaries. But I also know what I've succeeded from she being my friend. Connections she has given me. If she wasn't my friend, I would have been able to get those contacts.
All right.
But because she was my friend and I was matured enough to know my boundaries.
Okay, thank you for calling.
Okay, that's because you are matured enough.
Exactly.
Do you understand? Even Jesus Christ himself averted some things. Satan was coming and he said, no, this man is coming. He knows.
All right. 95.1, welcome to the show. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
My name is Pastor Hope, calling from Cuba.
All right, welcome.
It's a very good morning. I'm morning the presenter. My point is on the top number 1 point in marriage. Yeah.
All right.
There are marriages whereby either the husband or the wife will be pressurizing the spouse to grow. Why the spouse will be on the ground that you are stressing me, I don't want to go beyond this level. And when such family is facing such a challenge, what do we do? The spouse, for example, the husband will say, my wife, come and forward your education. Say, no, my brain has blocked because of my children. Taking care of my children, this and that, and then my brain, I can't go further. And the man is working harder. Instead of the woman to please the wife to say something, she will be throwing words of discouragement, emotionally killing the vision of the husband. In such marriage, what do we do to convince the spouse that it is for her good? Thank you.
Thank you for calling. Let's see. Do we have any more calls? If we don't, all right. Two questions. One about rape, and then this one: the wife refusing to change.
Okay. So, no, sex should be something intentional. Both parties coming together and agreeing to do the act. So,
okay.
Yes. So, if your wife is actually not willing at that time, because sometimes it depends on the condition that the woman is. You might be wanting, and the woman might not be willing. So, but if you force her and when you go into her, you've raped her. Yeah.
All right.
Yes, because supposed to be
you
two
agree
concepts.
A man can, or a husband can rape a wife.
Can rape the wife. Yes, okay. But then, so the next say, look, a woman who refuses her husband of sex. One thing I want women to know and men to also understand, a woman that doesn't just wake up, and I'm not justifying anything for the woman anyway, but I know women that just wake up and they deny you sex from the very onset of the relationship. Okay. Do you understand? They were allowing you and things were going on smoothly. What men will also understand that women are emotional beings. Do you understand? Know their emotions. Before you get a woman, that's why you see it's difficult for women to cheat. That's why I'm surprised that women are really going out there. If a man cheat, I will cheat, because you cannot cheat with a woman easily. Because you have to be emotionally connected to a woman. A woman must feel you. To open up for you to go to that level. You must have said something that triggers that thing. You know, you must have been with her for some time. Hitting her with words, being with her, buying things with her, and every other thing. You know, you cannot just see a woman today and she sleeps with you. No, she's not an olosho, for crying out loud. Do you understand? So that emotional connection must be established for a woman to open up to you. So some men, what they fail to understand that women, sex is not physical to a woman. No, it is physical to a man. That's why a man can carry an olosho, carry a prostitute and sleep with. They don't have any emotional attachment with you, but they just want to satisfy their urge at that minute and they've gone. But a woman is not like that. Do you understand? You cannot just see a woman likes this man, and you just a woman opens up for you. It's not a prostitute or whatever. No, there must be an emotional connection. So as a man, sometimes if a woman refuses you of sex, it is possible in the morning there's something you did to that woman. You said one word to that woman that affected. Yes, you've been doing, and she's emotionally battered as we speak right now. She is drained, and in the night you tap the same woman that you want to have sex with. The same woman. What do you think? The woman is not willing, even when the spirit is trying to push, but the flesh is weak because you have drained her already with those words that you use. You don't take care of her. You don't need. That is not a yardstick for a woman to refuse a man. But I'm just telling the men sometimes what could cause it? Why women will begin to withdraw. A woman that used to give it to you like that before, anytime you need it, something must be wrong. There's always a solution. I believe in a solution mindset. There's a problem in the home. How do we solve it? My wife, what happened? Why are you refusing me sex all of a sudden? But to the women, some women use this as a weapon. That's where I'm coming from right now. I've just spoken to the men. I've said, look, your wives can refuse you sometimes. When you don't take care of them, when you give them some words in the morning, you know, that's not really welcoming. You understand? They're emotional beings, and it's their emotions that control their actions. But now I'm teaching women, in my course, I'm teaching women, no, don't allow your emotions control your actions. Your actions must control your value. What are you going to benefit out of that? Not your emotions, how you feel, how you think is why you act. Do you understand? So women who uses it, that's where the problem is. Women who uses it as a weapon, as against their husband, you know, because you have done this, I will not give it to you. They forgot that St. Paul said in the 1 Corinthians 7 that, look, on no account should you deny yourself of sex. The only reason why you can deny yourself is when both of you have agreed, come into as a concept that, look, we want to pray this period, so let's abstain from this thing. It will be between two of you, an agreement between your husband and wife. So these women who use this as a weapon, they don't know what they are doing biblically. They are sinning against God, because St. Paul said, don't deny yourself of it. Do you understand? Because if you do you know what St. Paul even said? Look, if you have to make an agreement, okay, we want to pray, don't do it too long. Because even if you do it too long, Satan can now come in through that avenue to tempt both of you. Do you understand? So it's very important, every woman hearing the sound of my voice, do not weaponize sex. You are sinning against your creator if you do that.
Okay, let's get to the messages. We have, Simply Goodness from Malacca here. Good morning to the resource person in the studio. Everything she has said is nothing but the truth. Unfortunately, most girls of this generation are more concerned about going half naked on TikTok and shouting "clock it" than Simply Goodness.
They will have to learn it the hard way. They will have to learn it the hard way.
In fact, I overheard a girl saying that her dream is to date an Igbo guy from Abia State who will find her luxurious lifestyle, or fund rather her luxurious lifestyle. So there needs to be a renewing of the minds of our girls today. If we must have better women tomorrow, finally in all we do, we must put God first if we must be first in life. All right.
Remember, I've not answered the second question.
Because we're running out of time. I want to get married too. She suddenly stopped chatting and even blocked my line. Even when I chatted her, she will not respond. There was a time I was telling her of some things I don't like, expecting her to improve, but then she even made matters worse now by not talking and chatting as usual. And I'm confused on what to do. Please help me. What will I do in this matter? That's Pastor Sunday from Rumi Bo. Okay.
There's some red flags. You're seeing some red flags already. You are correcting her because of that. She's angry. She's withdrawn. She's not picking your call again. So and you are almost killing yourself. The lady has shown you from the very onset that, look, this is who I am. I'm not ready to change. So why are you killing yourself over a lady that is telling you withdrawn? There are many fishes in the river, for crying out loud. Don't kill yourself. Or come and see me. That's my work.
All right. Madam Don, good knowledge is suitable to good location. 90% of women don't listen to radio. Please, she should make sacrifice to take this intelligence to schools and churches or town hall meetings. I appreciate her. That's Carlos All right.
You need to invite me now.
Thank you so much.
You need to invite me.
Oh, madam, whenever I hear your voice talking, you made my day. God Almighty bless you and keep you for your lucky husband.
Amen.
You're one out of a billion. Eto texting from Ruma Hollow. All right, we have some messages. Let's look at said messages. Let's see. Oh, we're kind of out of time. Good morning, moderator and the guest. My advice. Observation and advice: if you are a man and didn't go to school, don't train or sponsor a lady in the name of marriage after, and vice versa, because it does not always see the light of day. And what is rape in marriage? Well, you've heard Mr. Dennis, Madam Harriet has explained that. Please, does a woman who has slept with countless men before getting married have any right to accuse her husband of cheating? Edward is my name. Thank you. All right, let's take the last message and see what we can see. Okay, Don Wilson, thanks for bringing that wise woman in the studio. Let me advise those men who do things with people's wives. Biko, stop it.
Yes,
you can one more call and then wrap up. 95.1, welcome to the show. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Good afternoon, all.
Good afternoon.
Calling from Abayaba.
All right, go ahead.
There are, in fact, I've met a woman that told me that her husband only have sex with her 2 times in a year. That she will be begging him to no avail. And she told me that she even wants to go outside and start having it with another man. Now, I had to study the case, and I discovered that the man has something, a spiritual group he belongs, that has given him schedule of when to have sex and when not to, with his wife. But then, the man usually has sex outside frequently. He commits adultery frequently.
All right.
Without planning. But when it comes to his wife, it is 2 times in a year. And that woman died unhappy. So, there is one area of life which people are not looking into. What people belong before they marry them. That thing they belong.
All right, thank you for calling. We have we have 2 messages and then we'll wrap up the show. Mr. Okedede, all right. Good morning. Mostly when she knows that the man cannot go looking for another woman for the sake his faith in God. All right. Yeah. And then this one says, why would a married woman keep an ex who did not see her worthy of marriage? Elder Ben.
Yeah,
all right,
absolutely.
Thank you for that. And this is where, this is how we wrap it up. Mrs. Harriet or Madam Harriet, final thoughts. You have given us enough food.
Enough food to take home.
We're full. We're belly full.
So let me quickly talk to that, the brother that called about his wife.
Yes.
That is reluctant. She will begin to, very soon she will feel it. Sometimes the manner of presentation, the way we talk to these women as well too, we also encourage them to want to forge ahead or not to forge ahead.
Okay.
So presentation skills also matters. So but when you see a wife that is actually stubborn and doesn't want to go further, you bring the wife to a counselor. Sometimes you wife that is actually stubborn and doesn't want to go further, you bring the wife to a counselor. Sometimes you will be trying and they will not understand you because you are the husband. Enroll in my course. They can always go to my Facebook page. Enroll in my course. They can always go to my Facebook page, or you can call me on 081 55 62272 081 55 62272. And my Facebook page is Premier Women International, and in Instagram IG is Premier_Women. Please, the course is there. You can just click the link and you can register, or you send me a text message. I will send you the link so that you can register, because it's really going on right now.
All right.
going on.
Okay,
Right
so
now.
this is where we'll bring the show to a close. I hope you guys had an amazing time hanging out with me, as I did hanging out with you. Thank you to all the guests that graced the studio today, and all of you out there that listened and sent in messages and contributed in one way or the other. Up next is the World News. We'll be right back.
Talk radio. I listen to a lot of talk radio.
Maybe home is somebody's smile when they look at you for the first time. Maybe home is being a home to something you love and adore with all your heart. And that is what life, friendship, and love are all about. Maybe home is listening to all of your favorite shows on Today 95.1 FM. We create memories. We inspire comfort. We are the voice of the people, and we are home away from home.
Whether it's happening in Port Harcourt, South, Nigeria, or around the world, we've got you covered. On air, online, delivering balanced news and unbiased analysis. Today, 95.1 FM.
This is Today, 95.1 FM, Port Harcourt. News.
Good afternoon. This is the World News on your Premium Talk Radio today at 95.1 FM. Port Harcourt, I am Dawn Wilson. Today in the headlines, voting commences in Rivers South East Senatorial District by election. GOC 6th Division, Nigerian Army Major General Emmanuel Emeka reaffirms Nigerian Army's commitment to supporting healthcare initiatives. President Bola Tinubu approves 6-month tenure extension for Comptroller General of Nigeria Customs Service Bashir Adewale Adeniyi. And on the foreign scene, scientists detect H5 strain of bird flu in Australia. Details in a moment. Stay with us. Welcome back, and now the news in full. Voting has commenced in the Rivers South East Senatorial District by-election by the Independent National Electoral Commission. Accreditation of voters commenced earlier. Security operatives, including the police, civil defense, and soldiers, are seen in strategic places, ensuring compliance to the order of Commissioner of Police restricting movement across the 7 local governments of the district. 4 political parties are participating in the ongoing by-elections. The winner is expected to replace late Barinada Impegi, who passed on this year. The leader of River State Caucus, Nigerian Youth Parliament 6th session, Enoch Fubara Stephen, has called on all the youths from the Rivers Southeast Senatorial District to conduct themselves peacefully as they exercise their civic right in the scheduled by-election. Fubara Stephen, who is representing Rivers Southeast Senatorial District in the Nigerian Youth Parliament 6th session, urged the youth not to allow themselves to be used as political thugs to cause crisis. He also encouraged them to go beyond election and ensure that those they elect to represent them are held accountable for effective representation and to deliver dividends of democracy to the people. Let's take a listen to what he said.
As the by-election for Rivers Southeast Senatorial District to replace the late Senator Barinada Mpigi takes place on Saturday, 20th June 2026, they should conduct themselves peacefully before, during, and after the election. They should not allow themselves to be used as political thuggery to cause crisis. We have gone past that level. Peace is priceless. And beyond the election, we should also ensure we hold those we elect to represent us accountable for effective representation to deliver dividends of democracy to the people.
The The State Working Committee of the African Democratic Congress, ADC, in Rivers State chapter has directed all members of the State Working Committee to immediately commence supervision of membership registration and voter registration activities in their respective local government areas. The state's chairman of the party, Chukwudi Dinkpa, stated that the directive forms part of the party's grassroots mobilization strategy ahead of the 2027 general elections, aimed at strengthening the party's presence across the state while encouraging eligible citizens to obtain their permanent voters' cards, PVC. According to the chairman, all SWC members are expected to work closely with their LGA executives to ensure effective implementation of the exercise. He further directed that comprehensive report detailing the number of new party members registered and the number of persons mobilized for voter registration in each local government area be submitted within 2 weeks. In a statement by the State Publicity Secretary of ADC, Chizi Eni, stressed that the directive should be treated with the utmost seriousness and called on all LGA executives to provide the necessary leadership to ensure the success of the exercise. The ADC chairman also urged Rivers people, particularly eligible voters who are yet to register or update their voter information, to take advantage of the ongoing voter registration exercise being conducted by INEC. He noted that active participation in the democratic process remains the most effective way for citizens to shape the future of Rivers State and Nigeria, reassuring the people of Rivers State that the African Democratic Congress remains committed to offering credible leadership, people-oriented governance, economic revitalization, infrastructure development, and expanded opportunities for all citizens. The General Officer Commanding GOC 6th Division and Nigerian Army, Major General Emmanuel Emeka, has reaffirmed the Nigerian Army's commitment to supporting healthcare initiatives and humanitarian activities aimed at improving the well-being of Nigerians. Major General Emeka, who doubles as the Land Component Commander, Joint Task Force, South-South Operation Delta Safe, spoke during the closing ceremony of the 2026 World Blood Donor Day celebration organized by the Armed Forces Blood Center, AFBC, in Port Harcourt, Rivers State, where he noted that World Blood Donor Day serves as a platform to raise awareness on the critical need for safe blood and blood products while recognizing the invaluable contributions of voluntary blood donors. The GOC, who was represented at the event by the Deputy Director, Chaplaincy Headquarters, 6th Division Nigerian Army, Colonel A.J. Sambo, described blood donation as one of the noblest humanitarian acts, stressing that every unit of blood donated has the potential to save multiple lives. The GOC further stated that the Nigerian Army, through institutions such as the Armed Forces Blood Center, AFBC, and its medical facilities across the country, remain committed to supporting healthcare delivery and emergency medical response. He therefore commended the leadership and staff of the AFBC for their dedication to ensuring the availability of safe blood and sustaining campaigns aimed at promoting voluntary blood donation. Earlier in his welcome address, the acting director, Armed Forces Blood Center, Major A.J. Adankala, paid tribute to voluntary non-remunerated blood donors, whom he described as selfless individuals and angels in human flesh, whose generosity continues to save lives and improve the well-being of humanity. In a statement by the acting Deputy Director, 6th Division Nigerian Army Public Relations, Lieutenant Colonel Umar Adam, noted that the 2026 campaign's theme, One Drop of Humanity Gives Blood, Give Blood, Save Lives, highlights the importance of solidarity, compassion, and collective responsibility in blood donation. Major Adankala stated that despite advances in science, testing and blood safety systems, the availability of safe blood and blood products still depends on individuals who donate voluntarily and regularly. He, however, called on government agencies, corporate organizations, non-governmental organizations, and other stakeholders to strengthen support for voluntary blood donation initiatives and national blood programs to guarantee universal access to safe blood and blood product. The event ended with renewed calls for increased voluntary blood donation and collective action towards building a sustainable blood supply system capable of meeting the healthcare needs of the nation, as participants reaffirmed their commitment to supporting initiatives that promote the availability of safe blood for all Nigerians. President Bola Tinubu has approved a fresh 6-month tenure extension for the Comptroller General of the Nigeria Customs Service (NCS), Bashir Adewale Adeniyi. The extension was disclosed in a statement issued by the President's Special Advisor on Information and Strategy, Bayo Onanuga. The latest extension comes less than a year after President Tinubu approved a 1-year extension of Adeniyi's tenure, which was originally due to expire on August 31, 2025. Under the previous arrangement, Adeniyi's extended tenure was expected to end in August of this year. According to the presidency, the additional 6 months will allow the customs boss to complete critical reforms, particularly the implementation of the National Single Window Project, while also ensuring a smooth leadership transition within the service. The statement further noted that Adeniyi would work closely with the Nigeria Customs Service Board during the transition period to address pending personnel matters and strengthen institutional continuity. President Bola Tinubu has directed the immediate and permanent reinforcement of security at the National Institute for Policy and Strategic Studies, NIPS, Kuru Plateau State, following a recent attack on the institution's perimeter that claimed the lives of 2 soldiers and a police officer. The directive was conveyed by Vice President Kashim Shettima during a visit to the institute, where he addressed participants of the Senior Executive Course, SEC 48, on behalf of the President. According to the Vice President, the attack has strengthened the federal government's resolve to protect critical national institutions, support security personnel, and ensure that similar incidents do not occur in the future. Expressing the condolences of the federal government, Shettima sympathized with the families of the fallen security personnel and assured them of government support. The Vice President announced that President Tinubu had ordered the activation of emergency security measures at the institute, directing the Director General of NIPS to work closely with the armed forces, the Nigeria Police Force, and the Department of State Service, DSS, to strengthen security around the facility. Shettima described NIPS as Nigeria's strategic intellectual nerve center and a vital national asset whose protection must remain a top national security priority. He noted that although the attack is intended to create fear and disrupt the training of future leaders, the incident instead demonstrated the courage, resilience, and discipline of participants, management, and security personnel at the institute. Addressing staff and participants, the Vice President assured them that their safety remained a priority for the federal government. He further stressed that those responsible for the attack would not succeed in undermining the purpose and mission of the institute. Kogi West former Senator Dino Malaye has alleged that President Bola Tinubu has given up on his promise to improve electricity supply in Nigeria. Dino, who spoke in an interview with newsmen, said the president's move to install solar power in the presidential villa shows he is unwilling to keep his promises. The former governorship aspirant of PDP Edo State described the move for solar power in Aso Rock as insensitive, stating that the president is looking away from the plight of poor Nigerians. You're listening to the World News on Today 95.1 FM, Voice of the People. After the break, more news, sports, and foreign stories. Stay with us.
Every day, every hour, when the big stories break, depend on our 24-hour news team to bring you the latest. Today 95.1 FM.
Welcome back. The Inspector General of Police, Olatunji Disu, has approved the appointment of Chief Superintendent of Police Anyete Okokon Edem Iniedu as the new Force Public Relations Officer of the Nigeria Police Force. The appointment comes barely 3 months after Deputy Commissioner of Police Anthony Okon Placid assumed the office. In a statement issued by the outgoing spokesperson, Placid described Iniedu as a seasoned officer with extensive experience in public communication, operational policing, intelligence management, institutional accountability, and administration. A native of Etinan local government area of Akwa Ibom State, Iniedu holds a Bachelor of Science degree in pure chemistry from the University of Uyo. He has served in several strategic positions, including Operations Officer at Maisandari Division in Yobe State, Area Crime Officer at Umuahia Area Command in Abia State, Staff Officer at the IGP Secretariat, Second in Command of the 50 Police Mobile Force Squadron in Kubwa, an officer in charge of the Force Headquarters Situation Room. The Inspector General expressed confidence that Iniedu's experience would strengthen the Force Public Relations Department and enhance public engagement in support and ongoing policing reforms. Iniedu succeeds Anthony Placid, who was appointed Force Public Relations Officer on March 8 of this year. The commander of Joint Task Force JTF Operation World Stroke OPWS, covering Benue, Nasarawa, and Taraba states, Major General Moses Gara says troops have rescued 337 kidnapped victims and recovered 4,105 rustled cattle in ongoing operations across the three states. The commander, according to a security expert, Zagazola Makama, disclosed this while speaking on the achievements and operational challenges of the task force in Makurdi, Benue State. He attributed the successes recorded by the operation to the strategic support and guidance provided by the Chief of Defense Staff, CDS, General Olufemi Oluyede, the Chief of Army Staff, COAS, Lieutenant General Waidi Shaibu, the Chief of Air Staff, CAS, and other service chiefs. According to him, the Military High Command has consistently ensured the availability of combat enablers, helicopters, fighter aircraft, and other critical operational assets required for missions in the theater. The commander explained that OPWS was established as an intervention force designed to complement rather than replace the existing security architecture in the affected state. He said the task force works alongside other security agencies to bridge operational gaps and respond to emerging security threats. According to him, criminality remains the major driver of insecurity in the region, contrary to the widespread perception that most conflicts are solely related to disputes between farmers and herders. The commander stressed the importance of intelligence gathering and community cooperation in combating insecurity, noting that information provided by residents had led to the rescue of victims, recovery of weapons, and prevention of attacks. He, however, lamented that many residents were often reluctant to provide information due to fear of reprisals from criminal groups. Residents of Soba Town in Mashigu, local government area of Niger State, have raised fresh concerns after suspected members of an armed group reportedly entered the community and openly preached in mosques. The group arrived in the community shortly after Maghrib prayers and moved from one mosque to another, gathering worshippers to share their ideology and explain their mission. The development has raised fresh concerns about the group's growing influence and freedom of movement in parts of the region. As of the time of filing this report, there has been no official statement from security agencies on the development. On the foreign scene, scientists have detected the H5 strain of bird flu in Australia for the first time, earning the highly contagious variant that has now spread to every continent. Julie Collins, in a press conference, disclosed that the disease had been found in a migratory seabird, a brown skua, in remote Western Australia, and that the result had been confirmed by the National Science Agency. Samples from another sick bird, a giant petrel found in the same area, had also shown a suspected positive result. Australia was previously the only continent where the H5 strain, which can devastate poultry and wild bird populations, had not been detected. An emergency meeting of animal health and agriculture officials has been held to consider a national response.
Bentoni Bags Limited. We produce polypropylene branded nylon bags for companies and market use.
Oh yes, are you into rice production and packaging of all kinds? Our PP polypropylene bags is specially made for you. Bentoni Bags Limited. We produce top-notch branded bags, nylon for companies' use. Whatever business you are doing, you need our bags for packaging and easy movement. Our products are shopping sacks, agro sacks, nylon, twine, nail sacks, and general PP woven sacks. Locate us at plot in 23 Harbour Industrial Layout, Atani Road, Onisha, behind the former Paul Mike Sports Stadium, Onisha. Our contact phone numbers are 0913 966 3639 or 0813 928 4850.
Bentoni Bags Limited.
Bentoni Bags Limited. Originality is our name.
Talk radio. I listen to a lot of talk radio.
95.1 FM.
Maybe home is somebody's smile when they look at you for the first time. Maybe home is being a home to something you love and adore with all your heart, and that is what life, friendship, and love are all about. Maybe home is listening to all of your favorite shows on Today 95.1 FM. We create memories. We inspire comfort. We are
your brand and reach the right audience. This is your moment to take your brand to the next level with Today 95.1 FM.
Your trusted voice, reaching thousands of listeners every single day.
From startups to established brands, we can drive real growth.
Our affordable advertising packages are designed to give your business maximum visibility and real results.
Don't just advertise where people are listening.
Call us today on 0818-389-2850 or visit our station to book your slot now at Today FM Drive off East West Road, Obiapo.
Today FM 95.1.
Your voice, your market, your success.
Five, four, three, two, one.
Let's take you into a realm, another dimension, a reality of higher intelligence, discovery, and quantum possibility. Tune in every Monday, 1 p.m. to 2 p.m. on this station and be part of this journey as we address issues that relate to you and your tech life. It is Today's Tech Show on your premium talk, news, and sports station. Today, 95.1 FM.
Today, 95.1 FM. Where news meets insight, sports meets passion, and entertainment meets excellence. Expert analysis from seasoned professionals and our top analysts, informing, educating, and entertaining you. Your voice, your station. We are the voice of the people.
and reach the right audience? This is your moment to take your brand to the next level with Today 95.1 FM.
Your trusted voice, reaching thousands of listeners every single day.
From startups to established brands, we create powerful advertising solutions that boost your visibility and drive real growth.
Our affordable advertising packages are designed to give your business maximum visibility and real results.
Don't just advertise where people are listening.
Call us today on 0818-389-2850 or visit our station to book your slot now at Today FM Drive off East West Road, Obiapo.
Today FM 95.1.
Your voice, your market, your success.
Talk radio. I listen to a lot of talk radio.
95.1 FM.